Let me make sure you're live real quick on YouTube first. Yeah, we're going to YouTube. All right. Cool. Good afternoon, good morning, good day, good evening. All depends on where you're located. Thanks for tuning in to another episode here, the Owner's Box, the USFL League, PS4, only league I know with a live talk show. Madden League, where we talk everything about the league and everything, all things Madden. Episode 11. Got my good friend again, brother at arms. I think we play this week 17. The Giants owner, Terrific. I'm your host, Mark Gates, the Falcons owner. Good day, sir. Good morning over there in Cali. Let's dive into this week 17, man. A lot of interesting games, a lot of interesting things, a lot of definitely one of the best seasons, in my opinion, of the league. Due to the owner's box and due to some new things and the owners and us pushing the barrier here with this little live broadcast here, man. Give me your thoughts on your opinion so far on the season.
Definitely an interesting season. Definitely a good season. I feel the level of competition has risen significantly. I feel the AFC is a major player. I don't feel it's a foregone conclusion this year that the NFC is going to wrap it up, even though I'm a diehard NFC person. Playoff races have been interesting. It's been good to see some of the new blood make some significant steps. It's been good to see San Diego, the Chargers, step their game up. Some shocking seasons, myself, the Bucks. I mean, I was thinking about how bad it's went for me this season, and I'm like, shit, what about the Bucks? Them dudes was in the playoffs like me, and I think he's won 3 games. So definitely a lot of stuff going on. The show's been great for the league. Participation in the chat's been great for the league. Just a good overall season, like you said so far. I think these playoffs are going to be one of the better playoffs in a while. I think it's a lot of good matchups. I don't think there's any clear-cut, dog games in these playoffs. So just excited to see how everything shakes down.
Yeah, let's it's funny. I thought about that when let's speak on the AFC first. I do think that this year, out of the last 2 seasons that we had, I think they will be represented a little bit better this year. Versus how they were the last 2 seasons. Not to take anything away from the Chiefs or Candyman, both are good players. But if you look at the score, they both weren't really a contest. And this year, I think the Raiders and the Pats maybe, and even the Jags, one of them 3, in my opinion, will probably make the Super Bowl. All 3 of those teams. Oh, the Jets, Cletus. No, not to take away anything from Cletus either. Either one of them teams definitely represent them well. But I don't see them beating the NFC still. And that's just my personal opinion. Plus I'm on the NFC side of the ball, so it's a little biased. But I think they'll come with definitely competition. But I just think that our powerhouse style of football on the NFC side is just a little too much. I think we have a lot of high power offense, where the AFC plays a lot of conservative. So. And that's just based on some of the games I've seen, for the exception of teams like Cletus and Jacksonville. So that's my opinion.
You know what? That's fair. That's fair. Though it's funny though, like I've played Cletus now for years and years and in this league, and I've seen Cletus' game, and it's been pretty consistent. And it's funny, me and him talked, and something you told him did fire him up, and I think it was. He remembered when you said in the owner's box that ever since he lost to Sean, he was on fire. And he said, you know what? Gates was right about that. And he's been on point. And then I've recently played him, and I've watched a lot of his games. And honestly, for me, I got to take my NFC hat off. I think, to me, Cletus is the best team in the league. I've watched him. I've played him. He's clicking on all sides of the ball. I think Cletus defensively has the strategy, and he's shown and proved he can shut a powerhouse like Wop down. He did it. I just think that Cletus knows and studies this game and knows what everybody wants to do, and where he's really good at is taking away your first option or 2 and making you go to option 3 and 4. I think on the NFC side of the ball, You might have the more complex offense that is going to challenge him. I think the one-trick ponies, I think the WAPs, I'm just going to, 3 yards in the clouds of dust and try to hit you over top. I think those guys are going to struggle against Cletus because that's what he's going to take away. And then what else are you going to do? I think Paya, even though I've been big on him, I think his rookie running back, Fisher Spires, not being there is hurting his gameplay because I think he was potent because he would try to run pretty decently, he did a good job of it, and then hit you up top with Tyreek. But without Spires, Montgomery's not getting it done, and everybody's taking away Hill. So I think, like, for somebody to beat Cletus, they're going to need to be able to do multiple things on offense. And the person I see on our side of the ball, I think, that's doing that right now is you. I think Boone can get hot, but Boone's been inconsistent. He'll win a game, he'll lose a game he shouldn't lose. He'll win a game, he'll lose a game he shouldn't lose. And this is the wrong time of the year not to be peaking. So the one consistent I see on our side of the ball is you. If I had to pick right now, it's going to be an Atlanta Falcon and New York Jets Super Bowl.
That's interesting, man. Well, first of all, thanks for putting me up there. That's a shock to me. I mean, because you've been praising Green Bay and that guy, whoever he is, the whole season. So that's pretty cool. I appreciate that. Cletus, on the other hand, he was on fire when he lost to Sharon ever since that game. He's been dying to play and dying to beat him. Now that he's accomplished that goal, is that fire still there? Is that fire out? Is my concern. Because Cletus is good for dominating during the season. And then he knows, like I know, that, certain games in the playoffs where we both think that he's going to win, he doesn't win. I'm not saying he can't still get there. He can for sure still get there. But is that fire still there that he once had during the regular season? I mean, what is he playing for now? Is he playing for, like, I'm going to get this Super Bowl? Or did he spend and use all that energy up to get past the Pats? So we'll see.
To quote you, he's playing for you to put some respect on his name. I can tell you that because I talk to Cleveland regularly. He's playing for you to put some respect on his name.
I think this whole season should be titled respect. You know what I'm saying?
It should, but I know in particular he feels like a lot of times on the show, he does get a lot of props, but he feels like when other owners come on the show, when we talk about the AFC side of the house, he doesn't feel that he's 100% getting the props due him. And I know he's real big on that. So to me, like, he's on fire and he's motivated. And I don't think it has anything to do with the regular season or preseason. It has to do with the fact that he's tired of hearing about the Jags. He's tired of hearing about Strawn. He's tired of hearing about Chiefs. He's tired of hearing about anybody on the AFC side of the ball except for him. He wasn't real stoked and pumped on all of the Cleveland hype. He wants everybody to know, hey, the AFC comes through me. That's what he's.
Well, that's cool. I mean, that's true. I can agree with that, especially in his year 3. First year he sacrifices. I don't want to say he tanks, but he sacrifices his team by trading and things like that. Year 1, year 2, he kind of goes in development year, building guys and sitting on 2 years of XP, things like that. And in year 3, he comes out the gates, supercharged up and ready to win. So, I mean, I can definitely see that, and I can respect that. I mean, but for me, it's hard to I have to give my hats off to the Raiders, man, who's been playing phenomenal this season. And in my opinion, probably the best football I've seen him play all year. He has the best record currently, and ironically, him and Cletus played this week. So,
yes.
I'll say that whoever wins this game today goes to the Super Bowl on the AFC side. And I think that's
me. If it was me, I wouldn't play the game. I just really wouldn't. Like,
they have to because if Raiders lose, then he loses first place.
So,
please, but then now we're talking about the keys and how lineups and matchups and things like that work. For example, like Boone has been on a slump. Boone has been funny this year. The Bengals game, I would have never seen him losing that game. The Saints game, never expected him to lose that game. But then if he against the Rams, not to cut you off, he loses to the Rams, he's in 6th. And the Rams is in 5th or something like that. Versus, if he wins and he stays in this slot, so matchups, because if he loses and goes to 6th, then he faces like Paya or WAP.
But you're talking about round. Let's talk specifically about Raiders Jets.
Okay.
Like, I'm not playing that game. Well, if I'm playing that game, I'm putting all my starters down, and I'm using a totally different playbook. those two guys have the ability to go all of the way. They don't need to tip their hands to each other and show each other what they want to do. I'm going to see you in 3 or 4 days, and the last thing I need is you to have fresh film and game tape on what I'm trying to do. If it's me, if I do play that game, which I wouldn't play, if I do play it, you know what? We're going with all of our backups, and we're going with a brand new playbook. Figure that out. I don't think either one of them has anything to prove. I don't see the importance of that game. I don't think the seeding 1 or 2 is going to make any difference. They're both going to get a bye. There's more to lose to play that game and tip your hand than to play that game and win it. That's just me.
Yeah. Now, if they do that, let's say playoffs start today. Cletus is at 2, Raiders at 1. Jags and Chiefs go wild card, and Browns and Pats. As the Raiders, you'll take the lowest seed, of course, and then Cletus takes the second, the highest seed. Who do you want to face? As the Raiders, who would you rather face? Do you want to face Chiefs, Browns, or Pats in the second round?
That's a real good question because it depends on how comfortable you feel. Like if you're Raiders, do you want to face your brother? Like that dude inside out. So on one end, there's a level of comfortability to play him.
So you have to win. Right. So if that's the case, you have to keep the number 1 spot. You have to win this game if you're the Raiders.
Right, but I'm saying, but on the other end, do you want to play that dude? It's why the Raiders only lost is to San Diego. No disrespect to San Diego, because that's my boy Franco, and he's improved, and he's a good player. At the same time, Chargers beat him because of familiarity with what he wants to do, and nobody else beat him because they're not familiar. So it just depends on how you look at that. Do you want to play the enemy you know or the enemy you don't know? Like for me, regardless of what the matchup is, I'm not playing the game today. That's just me though, but everybody sees it differently. I'm looking at the big picture, and granted, I'm not looking over opponents, but if it's me, if I'm Raiders or Jets and I'm playing this well, I'm thinking to myself, it's going to come down to me and him. And I'm not tipping my hand, and I'm not giving that guy a head start. I'm not giving him 2 or 3 days to break me down and study me.
Now, what's the difference between that theory playing this game and me going back and watching all your streams from the season?
Very easily. You don't know if I made any adjustments or not. You're going to study what you think I'm going to do. I can tell you right now, I mean, if you're Jets, what you're thinking is, hey, Jeremy Hill and shot up all the awards boards. It's the Jeremy Hill show, and stop Cooper out deep.
Yeah.
If I'm Raiders, I'm adding a wrinkle to that because I know that's what he wants to do. Like the number one thing Cletus is going to do is take away what you want to do. Forget all the other strategy. Whatever you lean on, that's what he's honing in on. That's his number one thing. So if you're playing a guy like that, you damn well better have an ace up the sleeve. And the problem with why a lot of people can't adjust is you played a month straight of playing your scheme a certain way. Now, all of a sudden, for one game, you're going to try to develop a different scheme. It doesn't happen. And that's why people struggle.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. So the scheme you've been running all 16 weeks, you might switch it up on week 17, but when it comes playoff time, you're going to go right back to that same scheme.
Of course. That's what you're doing.
So that's what I'm saying. Why even deviate from the plan? Because all I got to do is watch the other 16 weeks of the stream. I already know what you want to do.
I mean,
on week 17 doesn't matter because in the playoff time, you're going to go back to your original game plan anyway, right?
You're right. But how many people are going to sit there and go back and watch hours of old games on their weekend, on their off time?
Yeah, I got you. No, nobody. But I'm just,
Yeah, more than likely, what people are going to do is they're going to find your last game film, or think about it. If those two play each other, why do I need to watch any film? You're showing me everything you're going to do. It's fresh in my head, and we're going to play 2 days later.
Probably. Yeah.
Right on the top of my head, man. This dude was killing me with this. This dude was killing me with this. So now in the next 2 days, I'm thinking of how I'm going to stop what you just did. To me, I just feel like more to lose strategically than the game.
Yeah, because if it was me, I'll play the game, but like you said, I would for sure use a different playbook. I would use a playbook that I wasn't even thinking about using. I would use something crazy like run and shoot or something so far.
Exactly.
Run heavy. Use a run heavy playbook. I ain't ran all season. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
I get it. Give me your winner. Give me your wild card winners. The Browns, I seen you already played. They lost today, so their record is kind of set. But if wild card predictions, give me Jags and Chiefs winners. Give me Browns and AFC before we jump on the NFC side of the ball.
Oh, Jags and Chiefs. That's going to be a tough one. If I had to give the edge to somebody, both of those are They're good players. They're battle tested. They. I'm gonna lean on the Jags, and the reason I'm gonna lean on the Jags is I just have a feeling that Adam hasn't really played Jags, or I don't know that he's watched a lot of his tape, and it's gonna be new to him what Jags wants to do. Uh, Jags is not real complicated. He's going to pound you with Fournette. He plays stellar defense. He's got maybe the defensive player of the year in his team, Earl Thomas. Um, I do think that Chiefs kind of suffered a little bit by trading Hill. I mean, not drastic, but I know that was a big weapon.
It's drastic.
Right. So now, and I just think that Jags' unfamiliarity is going to catch Chiefs off guard. So I'm going to go with Chiefs. I mean, Jags.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Jags, too. Fournette is he's been beasting. And it's funny because you would have thought he took over the ownership of the week 1 of the league, and he hasn't. He came in a couple weeks after that and really dominated. And like you said, I think Hill was a huge impact on that trade. And the Chiefs are now seeing it. They're still winning, but it's definitely made an improvement, as you see that the Packers offense is shot up through the roof. And the Chiefs are they're in 6th spot where they were easily early third, early in the season.
Real quick, hey, Boone just hit me up, and I didn't know this. He's telling me that the Chiefs actually beat the Jags once this season.
Oh, did he?
That's an interesting mix right there. I didn't know that they played.
Yeah, I'm still going Jags. It's playoff time.
Yeah, I'm still going to stick to the Jags pick as well. I definitely think, I don't care who you are, Chiefs is a handful for anybody. He's a smart guy. He plays the game well. Every once in a while, he'll have some untimely picks that make it a little difficult for him, but he's always going to bring sound defense to the table, and he's always going to be able to move the ball on offense. So it'll be a good one for sure.
Yeah, I agree. And then we have Pats and Browns.
That's a tough one. Didn't you see? That's why I said all these games are going to be good. Cleveland started out low key. Then I hyped them up and a bunch of other people, and then a bunch of people started checking for them and breaking them down and saying, if you can stop C routes, etc., that you can be successful. I know he lives and dies with Kaiser on offense, either running the ball or airing it out, but I also know Kaiser gives up the ball a lot, Davis Webb style. So it's going to be a tough one. I know Strong went through a rough patch. I talked to Strong personally. I told Strong I don't think he needed to change anything. I think Strong just needed to come to grips with the fact that he played WAP, Cletus, and me back to back to back. And I don't care who you are, that's a challenge. And you're going to give up WAP, and you're going to give up points against Cletus. You can't look at that like what you're doing is broken. You just got to keep doing what you're doing. Golly. Huh? What happened? Gates. Gates, you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. There you go. Yeah. You were going in and out for a second. I hear you.
Oh. No, I was just saying that's going to be – you know what, man? Go ahead and pick that one first, man. I need a minute to think on that one.
Say that again?
Go ahead and pick that one first. I need a minute to think on that one.
All right, I'm going to go oh, man. So it's a couple of things for me to factor in. Either way, if they're playing New England or they're playing Cleveland, it's a snow game. I think it's going to be a snow game either way. The Browns, I think, are comfortable playing in the snow. He's played already once in the snow. I know he kind of hates it. If they do that, I think his quarterback's legs will be a key in that. Oh, God, who I'll pick? I think I'm going to go with Patriots. Only because Deion Lewis and Cooks are a handful. The Browns have been playing consistently, though. He fights back a lot, but I'm gonna still go with the Patriots. The keys to victory is still the same. Stop the C route, stop Robinson. For the Browns, try to stop Deion Lewis. Always watch where Brandon Cooks is on the field. But either way, I'm going with the Pats. I think he has something to prove. I think he wants to face Cletus and eliminate Cletus. So I think he has a little bit more to play for than the Browns. Even though the Browns are, new owner, definitely wants some respect, but he said he just jumps in and plays, and I think that he doesn't understand at this level that's not going to work anymore in this league anyway. So
You know what? It is going to be a
that's
very
why.
tough game. I'm going to go with the upset. I'm going to go with the Browns. Uh, it's going to be real tough. It's going to be real close. Actually, now I take that back. I think your assessment's good thinking about it. Cooks is a handful. And the thing about it is if you key on Cooks, he's got like two burners on the other side that he goes right to as opposed to Cooks. I do think Patriots is going to pull this one out. I'm going Pats.
Yeah. And then on the NFC side of the ball, we have myself at 1, the Redskins at 2, Green Bay at 3, Seahawks at 4, and Saints at 5, and Rams at 6. And I just seen that the Saints are telling people to put him on auto. So whether he knows it or not, he's actually tied with the Seahawks. But if he goes 9-7, the Rams go 9-7, he could actually be in 6th spot now. He could be on the bubble, and he would have to face Green Bay in the first round. So let's just say if the playoff starters today, we have Green Bay versus the Rams and Seahawks and Saints. Give me your predictions. Green Bay and the Rams.
No, Green Bay. I'm still high on Paya. I'm still high on that guy. I just think that as I've watched a few of his last few games, I think the Spires injury is significant, but I don't know how long Spires out for. I don't know if he's coming back. A lot of times guys show up right around that last game or first game of the playoffs, especially if you get a bye. I still think he's got enough defensively. I've always said I don't think he gets enough credit on defense. You never see people put up tons of points against him. He's going to do enough to stick around. He's going to play smart. He's going to take threes if he can't get sevens. And I just think overall on both sides of the ball, he's a little too much. I think the Saints are a good team. I think they're up and coming, but I think this is a different level right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, like I said, the playoffs start today. Packers play the Rams. It's just too much offense for him. Too much user ability for the Rams. Yeah, it would take a miracle. It would take a total meltdown from the Packers for him to lose the first round playoff game. Even if Saints fall into that, it's the same prediction for me. It's just too much. And then Boone, Boone, man, it's playoffs, man. Is he going to be consistent? Where I once thought he would show up, it's like I don't know. I don't even know. Is he gonna stick to his game plan? Is he gonna deviate from it? Is Russell Wilson gonna make them throws? I mean, I would still give him the edge either way, but I think it's not as easy as I thought it once was. So
I agree with that assessment spot on. I think it's funny. I think Boone is literally going through the same type of season I am, except he's got 2 or 3 more wins than me. But it's literally the same thing. He'll have those games where you're like, okay, he's back. Look out. And then he'll lose one, and it's like, what happened? Like, where's the struggle? I do think I don't see him getting knocked out in the first round. So I agree with you. Again, I think Saints is a good team and an up-and-comer. I know Saints beat Seahawks during the season, but Boone is one of those guys you ain't going to beat him a few times in a row. He's going to make some type of adjustment. I don't know that his confidence is what it normally is this time of year, but I still think he's got a little too much right now.
Right. Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, it's funny because your connection's going in and out a little bit. I don't know how you. Yeah. Yeah, can you hear me? Because your connection's going like crazy right now.
Yeah, I hear you. I don't either because I've never had a problem with it. Looking at my signal.
Just could be one of them days. I've been having one already. So
yeah, right.
Real quick, I wanted to talk about coaching adjustments and like user awareness. User awareness is no real stat. And what I mean by coaching adjustments is I was watching the Bucks and the Redskins game, and the Redskins were like stripping him and hitting him, causing fumbles and everything like that. And I noticed that the Bucks never made the adjustment to do that, to counter that. And that's why I was talking about user awareness. For example, like if you see guys consistently trying to strip you and hit you, give you hit sticks versus wrap up tackles, then it must be, when does it get to a point where that triggers something in your mind saying, okay, this guy has set his tackling to aggressive and his stripping to aggressive. All right, let me now turn my ball carrying to conservative to counteract that, or also hold R1 to do that. And I don't see a lot of guys doing that.
You do.
And then, they complain, well, not complain, but they say, man, all these fumbles and all these strips and things like that, but you've never turned your to ball carrying to conservative. Is that something you do? I know it's something that I do, especially in the fourth quarter. When I know and I see it, when a guy's trying to tackle me, instead he tackle me, he's trying to strip the ball. I already know what that is.
You're asking if that's something I do.
Yeah.
I do, but I think you have to recognize it. I think that maybe that's where you're not seeing a lot of people do it, is it's not being recognized. It's not as easy to tell as you think sometimes. Like I have Landon Collins. So Landon Collins' default is to hit sticky or strip the ball. So if you look at that and say, well, I'm going to change my adjustments based off of that, that doesn't necessarily mean that I made any adjustments. It just means that's Landon Collins' nature. But I do know what you're saying. And I do think that there's a reason why there's only 6 teams on each side of the ball that make the playoffs, because the 6 teams that make the playoffs, they're doing those types of things. And they've been doing them. And the teams that's not doing them don't adjust mid-game. They don't recognize it. And grain of sand turns into a castle. And next thing you know, you on the outside looking in going, when's the draft?
That's a good line.
I'm in that position right now. Like, shit, when's the draft?
Yeah, no, that's cool. I spoke to the Bucks after they was like, yo, all these fumbles and things like that. I'm like, dude, you got to change your coaching adjustments. And he's like, what's that? I'm like, what? Like, what you mean? He's like, I don't know how to do that. And I was like, oh, damn. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me teach you how to do that. So if anybody else is watching and doesn't know how to do that, right before the very first play call screen, you scroll all the way down. It'll say coaching adjustments. You select that. There's a couple things you can change on offense and defense. On offense is ball carrying, aggressive and conservative. Deep ball catching can be conservative or aggressive. Holding, it could be aggressive and conservative. Holding is like offensive line holding longer. You get a lot of. I've tried it a couple of times, and you guys do get the holding call. So I recommend try not to use that. And then I forget what the other one is, which I never touch anyway. And on defense, they have the option defense where you can stay with the quarterback, chase the running back. The cornerback matchups, tackling, where you want to hit stick all the time, and then actually stripping and pass rush, things like that. So if you ever notice during the games where guys are like consistently doing the fake hikes or whatever, they're trying to get the defensive lineman who don't have their defensive lineman penalty thing at a discipline to jump. I know I'm a victim of that. A couple teams like the Packers do it to me all the time. Will does it. Wap does it.
Yeah, because he does that to be a lot.
Yeah, I still don't change. I usually just let them jump once or twice. Like, all right, I'll just take the 5 this time. But if they can consistently try to, abuse it and spam it, then I'm like, all right, let me tone it down. Or I'll just put a defensive lineman who's not that good in, but has discipline. So where it doesn't even matter, but it still allows them to keep my line to be aggressive. So I did want to talk about that only because, like I said, I haven't really seen people. Well, like you said, the 6 teams, other than 6 teams that are in the playoffs, I haven't really seen people make those adjustments. So I just wanted to talk about that and touch on that. How do you feel about the awards that might be given out this season to the players? To the Jeremy Hill, I think his name Jeremy Hill, to the Fournette, to your player, things like that. Any standout players to you? Let's start with the AFC side of the ball.
Literally, the players that I'm seeing up awards. Hold on one second.
Yeah.
I'm actually looking at this right now. So here's what I will say. The players that's up for awards, they're the usual suspects. They've been there for a few weeks now, and they're really deserving, and they're all key pieces to why those teams are in the predicaments they're in. I know Jeremy Hill just kind of really came out of nowhere in the last 2 calendar weeks. But every time I watch it, he's really, really carrying that Raiders offense. And when you look at a team that's 13-1 or whatever they may be at this point in time, I mean, you definitely got to consider the fact that, hey, Jeremy Hill's a large part of the reason why. Let's see here. So looking at yearly awards on the AFC side,
And I think Raiders get coach of the year.
I know Fournette's 1 for MVP. Hill is 2. Le'Veon Bell for the Steelers is 3. Chris Warren is 4. Deion Lewis is 5. You know, I'm really surprised WAP only has 1 player up for MVP. And that's a high-powered team, and it has been all year. And I'm surprised that. Then again, I don't really see. I guess receivers don't really get that much love in this game. Do you realize there's not 1 wide receiver on the top 10 for the MVP, which I find kind of hard to believe?
Yeah, it's crazy because Julio Jones only needs 115 yards and he'll have 2,000 receiving yards. I'll break the record.
Exactly. So how is that guy not top 10? Like, that's got to be a flaw in the game. Like, I can't believe Perriman or damn Ross or somebody or Tyreek Hill isn't on this damn list. It's straight up running backs and quarterbacks. That's it.
Yeah.
Wow.
What's the next category?
Yeah. Coach of the year?
It's Raiders, right? I think the Raiders is that.
Raiders. You know what? Yeah. 14-1? Yeah. I mean, WAP's right there too at 14-2. Cletus is 3 with 13-2. Gates, you're 4th with 13-2, and Strawn is 5th with 13-3. That's as solid. Like, if that was the real NFL, that'd be one of the best like awards races of all time. 14-1, 14-2, 13-2, 13-2, 13-3. That's insane.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd say Coach is right now.
Yeah, I think Raiders deserves that, especially if he can win. If he can beat Cletus, he deserves. You know, he rightfully deserves that, and then he deserves to sit at the top of the AFC. So it's all funny. It's all because I didn't pick him that first week against his brother.
Yeah, but it's funny though. If you looked at Raiders last year, that's why I was high on him going into this season. He should have been a playoff team.
Yeah, he went 10-6 or something, right?
Yeah, he got double-digit wins and he didn't make it. So it wasn't a matter of. I mean, all he did was win 2 or 3 more games, but he was solid last year too.
Yeah,
it was just a tough way in with the AFC last year.
Yeah, because I think that happens in the Chargers.
Yeah, you got Candy, Cletus, and Strawn. That was 3 spots right there.
Yeah. Yeah, and then yeah, because I think the Chargers might go 10-6 this season, and they might not make the playoffs. So
exactly, but make no mistake about it, Franco winning 10 games is significant. I think it's going to be the platform that he's able to jump off to go to the next level. He's never gotten past 8-8, and he's 10-6, and he's got the only loss on the Raiders record. And his confidence is good right now. His scheme is good. He seems to like that quarterback he traded for, Dobbs. I think even if he doesn't make it, it's still a good season for him, and I think it'll be a platform with bigger things.
All right, let's let me ask you a couple of things that I want to talk about. The first one is the Bills have been very active in the chat, and he was saying that he's willing to bet $50 that Cleveland wins the Super Bowl. Let me hear your thoughts on it before I comment on it.
Well, first of all, I love Bills to death. That's my boy in real life. I brought him into the league. But I don't think it's no secret that he enjoys some adult beverages and he enjoys some funny cigarettes. And half that shit he be talking, you can tell he's on a good one. He'll start by showing you 8 pictures of a house he painted. Then he wants to show you 10 pictures of some weed he's going to smoke. And then he starts talking that shit. Look, he's in the same division with Cletus. He plays Cletus, and Cletus has dominated him. So I can see why he feels that way. As crazy as it might sound, though, I don't know that it's a foolish bet what he's saying. At the same time, when you get to the playoffs, there's a lot of viable candidates out there. There's no givens for anything. So that's a bold statement by him, but I know it's coming from the bias of, hey, I play Cletus and he kicks my ass all the time, and he hasn't played a Gates. He hasn't played a WAP, so he doesn't really know necessarily what everybody else is working with.
Yeah. You know, I look at the playoffs almost like college sports versus the NFL, versus the NFL or the NBA, where it's like, you might dominate during 17 weeks, but then when you get to these last 4 games, everybody's good in these last 4. You know what I'm saying? Like, level of competition is different because everybody's good. Like, you were the man. Like, Cletus is the man in the AFC East. When we get to the playoffs, every other team, these other 5 teams are also the man where they come from, if that makes sense.
It makes a lot of sense. I believe in that.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's how I always look at it. So even hearing you say to me, like, yo, you're the favorite in the NFC, yeah, that's cool, but I don't I treat everybody with like, yo, the same respect as myself. Like if I'm also the favorite, that same thing can be said about the Packers in their division. You could have said the same thing about the Redskins. You know what I'm saying? Saints can feel like, yo, y'all been not really talking about me all season.
You want to hear what's crazy?
Huh?
You want to hear what's crazy? It's I don't know if you're the favorite in the NFC. What I was saying is you're the best equipped person to beat Cletus. If that makes sense, what I'm saying. Because I still think, yeah, you're going to have to contend with Wop and you're going to have to contend with Paya. But I think you have the best overall package to present a problem to somebody that can strategize against it. I think the other guys like don't have a wide arsenal of things they do. So it's easier to shut them down. I think you're the hardest person to shut down because you mix up what you do. So to me, it's going to be, you're going to be challenged getting through the NFC, and I don't really know who the favorite is.
Now, you say that. Now, I'll say, only reason why I say that is because if I beat you in this week 17, that means I went 12-0 against the NFC.
Wow. Wow.
All right. My only 2 losses are from was a sim loss from an AFC team and Jacksonville team. And I've dominated the NFC. If I beat you today, I've technically dominated the NFC all season.
But have you played Pie this season?
Yeah, I beat him.
Okay. Have you played Wob?
No. But I beat Boone and I beat the Saints. And I beat the Rams.
It's really impressive, man. That is.
I beat all
don't get me wrong. I take that away from you. I said you're the team best equipped on the NFC side to bring it back.
Yeah. I beat all the teams that are currently in their spots and I haven't faced Will. So that would be the only team I haven't played. And I'm just basing off the statistics, the numbers of it. That's all.
That is, hey man, you know what? Tip of the hat, salute, brother. 12-0 in the conference. That's impressive, man. Respect.
Thanks, man. I think the Raiders went 10-1 against the AFC. So if he wins it and beats Cleveland, he goes 11-1 against the AFC. So again, it's hard to say Cleveland to say all that to say Bill's making that $50 bet. It's tough. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm tempted to take it, but I want my payment in Bitcoin. You know what I'm saying? I only want you know what I'm saying? Pay me in Bitcoin. Some type of cryptocurrency or something. So I'm thinking about taking that. You know what I'm saying? I just found that a very bold statement made by the Bills. How do you feel about the Eagles owner? The new Eagles owner. He's new to the division. I think he played Watt pretty decent. We'll see how he does after this new offseason. But I see some potential.
Yeah. I think he'll be solid. I think that he didn't do himself any favors by talking a lot in the beginning, but if you can back up the play, like I tease you about that and your confidence, but if you back it up, it ain't bragging no more. It's the truth, you know?
Yeah. But to say you're going to go 16-0, I just was like, this guy, like, why don't put that target on your back, that early into the, nobody seen you play. And I think that he would have had that. I think if that was his tactic in using that, he should have never played any games this season. And waited
but I think he was trolling everybody.
Yeah, but now that
he was trolling people.
Yeah. But I'm saying to use that, I mean, it could have been a strategy that worked. And he could have used that to then go into the new season, and especially when the first 2 or 3 games, everybody's like, oh shit, he really might be as good as he says he is. He really might go 16-0. But seeing that you play one of the best guys in the NFC, and for you not to be saying, for you not to be able to stop the deep balls and things that we've been talking about all 10 episodes prior to this one, makes it hard. Now you're just like an average guy. Well, you looked at it as the average guy. So, but I do see potential. It'd be interesting to see how he pans out in your division. I know that you're going to try to bounce back heavy. My question is, do you go with Webb? Do you draft young? What is your plans going forward?
That's a good question, and I'll put it out there because we talked about me possibly trading for a quarterback, and I had a deal on the table to bring Deshaun Watson in from Texans. But it's funny because this morning before we jumped on here, with Watson's stats decreasing, his attributes due to a rough season, Webb actually has the same or better stats. I'm to a point right now where I'm thinking I got his short up to an 84 and his medium up to an 82 this morning. So I'm thinking I've invested a whole season to get my head kicked in to ride with this guy. His throws are getting better. I played the Jets. He had 3 picks. He had 2 errant throws, and one was just a bad read by me. In the last 3 games, he's only got 3 picks due to 3 bad throws. So I'm thinking maybe with 4 preseason games, our game today, build up some more points, stick with him, change up my scheme a little bit, and shorten up some things to make it more realistic for him to build up his confidence and his points quick and early. And I'm thinking at this point, I stay with him. I don't think, I traded my number 1 draft pick, so I don't have a number 1 draft pick. So short of getting lucky in the 2nd round with a stud drafting quarterback, he's not far off. I just have to stick with it. That's my
thought. Yeah, okay. So you're gonna ride it out. It'll be interesting to see, man, because I know you want to get back to the playoffs.
Sure.
I've been on you all season. Put you on the get it together list.
Get it together.
Get it together, brother. I put you on the list. So I know that you're eager to jump back into the playoffs, man. I know you're talking about his ratings and things like that. What is your when building your quarterback, man? What is one of the ratings that you think are most important for the quarterback? I'll let you comment first, and then I'll probably tell you mine. And then because I think we'll have 2 different answers. So,
well, it depends what style you like to utilize. Like, I'm a pocket passing dude, but I'm going to tell you something, and I shouldn't give this away, but it's not like a top secret. I've been a lot more mobile this season. And it's what's led to a decrease in his picks the last few games. Is before I would stand in the pocket, I'd scan the field, I'd force a throw in, it pushed him to shove. Now when I drop back, if I scan the field, if nobody's open, I scramble. So I'm adding that element to the game, and that's led to preserving the football on my side and extending plays as opposed to turnovers. And that's one thing I'm doing to combat his ratings. So because I'm more pocket-based, awareness is not important to me because I'm the damn quarterback controlling them. So I don't care about awareness. The roll power is not super important, but again, if you got deep targets you want to get the ball down to me, the 2 most important things for my quarterback, well, I'll give you 3. Short accuracy, medium accuracy, and his carry. And I tell you his carry because in previous Maddens, I get killed with that with Eli Manning because if you breathe on him, he fumbles the ball. And that's a problem. So for me, the 3 most important things I look for, short, medium, and carry. That's me.
Okay, now for me, it's funny that you say that the one rating that I thought is super key, that's always overlooked and has the most effect on your quarterback is awareness. It's awareness. Awareness is super, super important for your quarterback. When your quarterback, like your quarterback, Ty, can't hit the 5 and outs and the drag sometimes, and those things. That's because his awareness rating is down. That's not me personal. That's like even EA saying that, like, quarterback awareness is huge, and that's one of the ratings that kind of affected your quarterback's ability to throw. So for me, I always try to put that up as high as I can, and then build on to like the short, the medium, and the deep and things like that. So for me, the 3 ratings that matter to me the most is throw power. I look. He's either short or medium. So, it's just 2 different perspectives. I was just curious on that. When it comes to quarterbacks, I know I've spoken to the Bucks about that because he was saying the same thing that kind of you said. Like, y'all been building up all these stats, but Winston is making all these crazy throws. I'm like, yo, dude, put the XP to his awareness, and you'll see a difference. And he hit me back like, yo, like, I'm glad you said that. These last 2 games, he has been totally different. So,
even with me, I'm seeing an increase with Webb by me increasing his short and medium. Every year the game is for the most part the same, but there are some changes. it's possible this year that Gates.
Oh, there we go. Ty, you back?
Yeah.
Oh
You
man.
got that same waiting for people to join?
Yeah, Joe, that joint just went crazy for a second.
It did. I'm like, who's gonna join? But I was saying, it's possible this year that awareness is a bigger key. I know in all the years I played Madden, awareness wasn't a factor. So it is possible I went into this year not realizing that the awareness is more important this year than it needs to be. But I've seen a drastic increase in Webb, including that game when I played Strong. He was like, yo, that's the best Webb I've seen Webb play. And it's with me increasing his short and his medium.
Yeah, that was the best game. He has played. I think that to you as well. But yeah, he's really focused on awareness. Even center is the most important lineman in the game. The higher his awareness is,
oh, definitely.
It gives the rest of the offensive lineman a boost.
Yep.
During the game. So I don't know if you do that or not. It's not all about just like putting your impact block up to 99 and putting your running pass block up. You also have to put your awareness up, and awareness is key pretty much on every position this year. They kind of focused on that because a lot of people weren't upgrading that. And then, but was complaining about like certain things not happening. Yeah, kept consistently saying like, "Yo, what's their awareness? What's their awareness? What's their awareness?" So now they kind of like really focused on that. This man making awareness such an important thing. So yeah, I just wanted to touch on that, man. Because I know a lot of guys are saying that, and I'm seeing certain quarterbacks and things like that. I'm looking at guys' awareness like in 60s and 70s. I'm like, yo, they'll never be good. You still there, Ty?
I'm here, brother.
Oh, okay, cool. You want to comment on anything about that?
No, I thought got some good info and some good takes.
Yeah. No, that's cool.
Hey, Mark, is that on your phone anymore? Or do you want it?
All right, thanks, bud. Yeah. What other what are you looking? Let's talk about the draft real quick. In the draft class, what are you looking to this year? Like where do you see that the draft is weak at? Where do you see it is strong? Things of that nature.
Well, I see two different camps in this league for draft. There's the Cletus camp where I honestly believe Cletus enjoys the draft more than the season of the Super Bowl itself. There's a lot of owners, the pies of the world, that they look forward to breaking down prospects and improving their team via that way. For me, the draft's never really ever been important. I've never had a team to where I needed to build through the draft. I've always had those we don't rebuild, we reload type teams. So typically I'm looking at, it's rare I go for starters in the draft. Typically I'm looking for solid backups and dudes to replace aging veterans. Like I might have a JPP that's 30. So while he may have another season or two in him, I'm looking through the draft to get a young defensive lineman I could build up. So that's how I always attack the draft this year. Salary cap's been a little tough on me, so I'm going to lose some backups. So I'm looking to replenish those backups in the draft. I don't need a quarterback. I don't need a running back. This is going to be the third year in a row my running back's going to win a running back of the year. He's going to win offensive player this year. He's only going to be 26. He's still got 2 or 3 more years. His backup's a 96-speed dude. I don't need receivers. I don't need a tight end. My line is decent to actually good. I don't know. Defensive side of the ball may look at, corner to replace. I got DRC and Janoris. They're getting old. May look at a linebacker. I don't really have a lot of major holes. I just have to clean my shit up and play better, period. That's me.
Yeah, for me, man, that's tough, man. I get the late picks all the time. So I usually try to trade my picks for players. And if I draft, I just try to find some secret gems in round 5 and round 6. I usually try to draft them earlier. Because I get my picks are so late, it really doesn't matter. I'm going to be interesting for me, man. I really don't have no cap. I don't really have no cap to make any moves this offseason. I'm going to probably lose like 3-star players of mine.
Same with me.
And it's like funny because I feel like I can't even stop it. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't franchise tag 3-star players. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't got the money for that. So I'm going to be interested to see where it goes. So for me, I have to really, really win this season. For me, if I don't win it all, then it's lost for me because I lose the star players to help me get there. So now if I win it all and then I lose them, it's like cool, you did your job. We'll just figure it out from here. So it'll be interesting to see how it turns out. I do want to put a challenge up, man, a personal challenge for myself. Anybody who's watching, I've been going hard on the AFC these last 2 or 3 seasons, talking trash to them, trying to motivate them, things like that, man. But I want to take my talents to the AFC for a season or 2, or at least into the rest of this Madden. So if anybody wants to switch on the AFC side of the ball, let's talk about it, man. I'll definitely do that. I might want to play Cletus twice a year. I want to go against these boy brothers. I want to see what these Browns are about, these Jags are about. See if Franco is as good as he is, or he just, tall trash talking, things like that. So if anybody in the AFC wants to switch teams for 2 seasons, I'm willing to do that. You can take one of your best players off the team, and let me grab one or two of the Falcons' best players. Whatever you need to do to make it happen. Let's come see if you can win on the NFC side, and I'll let's see if I can come win on the AFC side. I know that, I kind of bashed you guys kind of hard. Cletus says he likes the AFC version of me. When I talk about the AFC, he thinks it's hilarious. But that's just a challenge, not to myself and also to any guys in the AFC.
No, and that's it's funny because I'm like you, I'm competitive, and I flirted with that earlier as well. When Candy was still there, I was going to talk to DZ to take the Bills because I thought it would have been cool to have a division of me, Candy, Strawn, and Cletus. It would have been insane, but it would have been fun. So I get where you're coming from on that. On the flip side, Justin, Jets 41, Raiders 20.
Well, Cletus is playing for something.
I told you what he's playing for.
Yeah, he ain't playing. Did the Raiders take your advice and not play the same playbook, or do you not?
I have no idea. I know the comment I'm seeing in the chat is obviously there must have been some extreme weather in that game. According to Raiders comments, must have been some extreme weather. And you got to think about it.
It's probably snow.
Yeah, exactly. Right. 3 pick sixes in that game. Shit, that's what 21 points right there. The difference in the game.
Yeah, you're down already. When the game even started, 21. Yeah. Anything else you want to touch on before we get up out of here, or wrap this?
You know what? Yeah.
Oh, here we go. We had 17 weeks, man. 17 weeks.
I'll take. Huh?
I said we had 17 weeks. I'm sure it's some things we could probably touch on.
I'll tell you one thing I want to touch on.
Okay.
So, I had some struggles from time to time kicking and punting. And I keep hearing 2 different camps on this. One camp is on the kick meter, you want to let that bad boy go all the way up to the red past the 100 bar. And then that slows down the bar coming back down and you catch it in the middle. But a lot of times, especially when I punt, I never, ever kick sky high. I always hit R1 for normal. I'll hit the red. I get down to the middle, and it's one of these stupid-ass punts that goes 21 damn miles per hour, and it's not because the wind's against me. Are you noticing issues with kicking? I don't see a lot of people having these issues, and I'm seeing them for me on punts, and I'm seeing them for me sometimes with kicks. Hell, a kick cost me the game against Strawn.
Yeah, your laces were in. I had to send you the right thing. You know what I'm saying? I actually just missed my first field goal, man, in the Cardinals game. But when I clicked the meter, it kind of jerked a little bit, or something crazy happened, and it wouldn't let me when the way back down, it wouldn't let me stop it. You know what I'm saying? It got into a little laggy situation. For me, I usually stop it. It depends on how far I am. If it's something that's not 50 something yards or something like that, anything like 35 and smaller, I don't even put up to the 100 bar. I get it close, and then I let it, do its thing because it comes back slower. Actually, when you let it go all the way up full max, and then it comes back down actually faster, from my experience. As far as punting goes, I haven't mastered that yet, man. I just try to kick it out of bounds so these dudes don't run it back. I think Doc, to me, has one of the best he punts excellent. If you ever get a chance to watch him, he always punts within the 10, within the 5. He always has great punts. But I know him and a couple other guys, they changed their camera views before the punt. They put that like kind of overlooking the field.
The overarching one.
Yeah. But for me, I can't really do that because if God forbid the guy catches it, I can't tackle you like that.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm already at a disadvantage. Yeah, do I want a great punt? I'm like, it ain't worth it. I'm gonna just kick it out of bounds and just play defense from there. That's how I look at it. I know you had some things about the pass interference. How do you feel about how do you still feel about that?
About what?
I know you were saying like the pass interference. Sometimes you get bumped a little bit. A little aggressive. The Patriots, man. When the Patriots always complain that Seattle was too physical and things like that.
I mean, look, it is something that's needed to be addressed for years now. But it's been a part of the game for a long time, where it's not an unknown. Number one, number two, if somebody's doing it to you, you can do it back to them. You can't get crazy and just pancake a guy in the middle of the field. But if you put your guy, a lot of times, what it is on a lot of these crossers, it's just a user will just kind of stand in the way ever so gently enough to throw your timing off.
Yeah. I know. I mean, it's funny because I've done it. I know, but I've done it. I'm fighting for position. I'm trying to get to where you're trying to get to. And then it's like, do they call it? Do they not call it? I went up against Champ, and it's funny because I went up against Champ, and everybody talked about his deep balls. And I know me and you have spoke on it. I spoke with Will on it, about the whole deep ball scenario. Like, if that doesn't work, then what do you do? And I know Champ was throwing a bunch of deep balls at me, and I snatched them all. I picked them all off, actually. So I wonder how that affects a person like WAP or a person like the 49ers, or, I think you mentioned the Raiders kind of sometimes go deep, they'll throw deep shots and things like that. Do you see that being countered going into next season, or do you think some guys have it figured out and some guys don't?
Some guys have it figured out and some guys don't. I'm going to give you an example. I'm 50-50 myself on that. I was just talking to Cletus when I played him, and this happens to me a lot against WAP. The most frustrating thing in the world for me, here's the way I feel. If I'm not playing the game well and I lose, I'm good with that. When my guy's with you step for step, I know where the ball's going. I've done everything right. And when I see the ball in the air, I try to click on my guy, but he's frozen in some weird animation where he will not react at all. And I sit and watch somebody catch a ball over my head. That's when it's really frustrating because there's nothing else I could have did better. And I don't know what the difference is when I watch some people play and they can routinely be in a position to make a play on the ball. And then when I play, I'm in the same position, but I can't move. It's not I click on him and I do the wrong thing. He won't react. Like maybe I'm clicking on him too late. Don't know what the issue is. And I'm trying to figure that out.
It could be a too late thing. I don't know. I don't know. It's funny. When guys like Champ was throwing him up, he was chucking them. And my eyes got big as hell. I'm like, is this guy crazy? Like, is he like, is he throwing this against me? And he threw it, and he, it's funny because he did the swerve from last year. I don't know if you remember that from.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, and I'll upload my game until I record it. He does this he did this funny behind swerve, and I just let him swerve right past me, right out of position, and I jumped and snatched it. It was like perfect user time and interception. You know what I'm saying? So again, I really haven't had the issue with the deep balls. I know we talked about WAP. Can he switch up his game plan? Hopefully he doesn't. Shit, I hope he keeps them throwing them deep balls if we play. If you're watching, we'll keep throwing the deep ball. I'd rather go against that than you slanting and dragging and doing all this other crazy stuff. So it'll be interesting to see how this year plays out. Who do you think will be the most? Who do you think will are the most improved teams this season?
I know you said Strong a few times, but I don't say that for Strong because Strong was this good last season. So if you were good last season and you're good this season, okay, it's not an improvement to me. Most improved two teams that jump immediately to my mind, the Saints and the Chargers.
I can agree with that. I agree with that. I didn't even know Strong was in the top 5 in the AFC last year.
He sure was.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
I said to me, now, if you want to say an improvement from M17 to M18, it's Strong hands down. It's not even close.
Yeah, because I'm used to Strong not really being in the playoff. You know what I'm saying? And maybe
Not
that's
only not making the playoffs, Strong was normally an M17, him, Rogues. There was a few people that you can count on them for a top 5 pick every season.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So maybe that's what I was looking at from a career perspective versus a season.
But from a record standpoint, in terms of season 2 to season 3, I mean, again, Chargers never really cracked 8-8 in his 2 years in this league. So to see him on the verge of a playoff spot, that was good to see. Saints showed toward the end of last season he was going to be a contender, and now to see him in the playoffs, I would say Saints in the NFC, and I would say in the AFC, the Chargers.
All right, who your biggest disappointments this year?
Wow, there's a few people that fit that bill. Disappointments is tough because it's in terms of, well, the NFC.
What I'm saying is,
I don't know if
thought they were
or Bucks. In the NFC, I'd say Mia Bucks. I know you may feel Moondog because you felt he was ready to take his game to another level. But the difference with why I wouldn't put a Moondog there and I would put Mia Bucks on the NFC side, you were looking at Moondog's potential, but Moondog has yet to actually establish himself as a winning player, a playoff person. You just thought he'd make a jump and he didn't. So he didn't meet expectation, but it wasn't a disappointment because he did what he always does. Bucks was a playoff team on the verge of 10 wins last season. I was a playoff team that took the Super Bowl one to you to the limit. So on the NFC side, it's definitely one of us two. On the AFC side, let me take a look here and see if there's anybody that
I agree. I think the Bucks. I think the Bucks because, like you said, they were a 10-16. Last year they were talking about going to the Super Bowl again this year, and then to be like 3 and whatever was truly disappointing.
on the AFC side, I see a couple of contenders. Honestly, there's 3 people in the AFC. Well, no, because Steelers kind of bounced back to 8-8. The Texans, 2-14. Yes, I get they played a lot of computer games last year, but you're still talking about the AFC South winner and a playoff team who pushed Cletus in the first round of the playoffs last year, despite how he got there. So to go from AFC South winner and pushing Cletus in the first round of the playoffs to 2 wins for the entirety of the season, that's no bueno.
Do you think he would have had that same turnout if it wasn't a lot of CP? Like, say for example, Bills, the Steelers, they made it to the playoffs last year. He even made it on the show here that he played a lot of CPU games. But now that this teams are filled up, he doesn't make the playoffs.
And he's 8-8. There's a big difference between 8 wins and 2 wins. 2 wins? Hey, you know how we had a playoffs?
Playoffs?
Hey, look,
Texas, listening?
2 wins?
Listen, Texas, if you're listening, get it together, brother. You don't get there ain't no passes. Ain't no passes.
Hey, Gabe, I'm gonna put this in perspective.
Get it together.
At the end of week 2, you had 2 wins. We're in week 18, and this dude has 2 wins, man.
Get it together, Texans. Get it together. There's no excuse.
Hey, 2 wins with Jadeveon Clowney, J.J. Watt, Watson, Miller, Hopkins. 2 wins?
Right. You're right. You're right. 2 wins is crazy. That's crazy. So yeah, I can agree with that. I can for sure. Those 2 teams, I get it.
He's a big disappointment. Doc at 3-12. You know what?
Listen, I told you.
Doc's never a double-digit win dude per se, but I've not really ever seen Doc get 3 wins in the season. That's a disappointment.
That's a disappointment. As a friend of mine, I'm him and Moondog just You know how I feel about Moondog. Like you said, I'm not mad at Moondog per se. It's just the potential that I seen in him. I was just disappointed in. Doc too. Remember, I was rooting for Doc heavy early. He's doing 3 games out the season, 2 games strong, and that was it.
Yeah, and last but not least, the Bills 2-13. Now, you've made mention of this several times that I looked at Carter Whitnight today and his stats. There's some talent on that team. I know DZ doesn't put any time in on the sticks, but 2 wins with the number 1 pick in the draft.
You know what's funny? What's funny?
What?
The fact that he had 2 wins. He should have kept losing. He lost the number 1. I think the Eagles now has the number 1 pick.
Right. Now, just to go back to putting this in perspective with the Texans and the question you asked about the computer, the Bills have 2 wins, which is the same as the Texans.
Yo, you're right. I can't I can't argue that. I can't argue that. But you know, for the Bills to then you win a game, you win 2 games for what? To go to pick second? You might as well just kept losing and pick first. Like you now lost the #1 slot. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, there's no reason for you to have that type of team and it may only have 2 wins. And I think one of them was a sim or something, right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Yeah, Bills, get it together. I mean, either trade them pieces, trade some of them players, or something. I mean, you're just holding back. You're holding back good talent, man. You're holding them back. Let them be great. Let them be great somewhere else. Matter of fact, let me get the Bills. Bills on it. Let's switch. Let me do that. Let me show you let me show you what it's like.
That would be an awesome division. You, Cletus, and Strong.
And who's the other team? Oh, Dolph.
Young Dolph.
Yeah, I'll do that. You know what I'm saying? I'll do that. I mean, we can switch them up. I love to be in the division. I would even take the I asked Doc, like, who you want to switch? I'll be in the Boone Brothers division.
I love that division when I was in the AFC West. One of my favorite times in this league. Tell you what, Nito's stat of the night. Remember what I told you earlier about Packers not getting enough credit for his defense? This guy is giving up the least amount of points in the entire league with 204 points all year. 204. The next closest person is you at 255. That's pretty damn impressive by you, too. 255 points? Think about this. I seen the stretch where me and Cletus played the Bills back-to-back, and combined, me and Cletus put up like 140 in 2 games. You and Green Bay have given up 200 and something points. WAP is third with 291. Even that, just anybody in the twos throughout a full season, man.
Yeah, it's been really some really good football this season. There's really been some really good football. I think like the rushing has been phenomenal amongst teams this year. You know, especially since last match was like very pass heavy. Even this match to me still feels pass heavy, but people are really committing to the run, and running the ball very, very well. Guys who aren't like real high in ratings are still getting thousands of yards. Like, I looked up the Browns running back, Corell. He has like a couple rushing records, which you kind of do. Cletus has his quarterback Hasselberg, whatever his name is.
No, he's actually with the young guy. He's going with a rookie.
That's not. He doesn't have a Hasselberg guy anymore.
It's a dude named Stephen McLaughlin.
Oh, okay, but the guy Hasselberg was up there for some passing records, I think, last season.
Yeah,
things like that. So, Le'Veon Bell, he has, I think, like the most rushing touchdowns. He just broke his record, I think, from last year. So the Steelers have been, you know, doing some things that have been very impressive. I think some guys are really putting up some really big numbers. I know that the Packers had that guy Wilkerson or something who has like crazy amount of sacks.
Wilkerson.
Yeah, he has like some monster number of sacks, things like that. So it's definitely been some really good. Earl Thomas has almost 20 interceptions in a season.
You want to see funny? Looking at stats, and this is something I told you a few owners boxes ago. I'm the 9th ranked offense in the entire league and the 10th ranked defense. And that's why I told you my defensive styles changed, but I never dropped from the top 10 ever. But it's funny because I don't bring that up to brag on me in a good way. It's like that close. That's why I'm like, I just got to tweak a few things. 9th offense, 10th in the league. Davis Webb's in the top 10 in passing. My running back is in top everything. Just got to tighten up some things, man.
Yeah.
Definitely a good season. The run is back. You're right. I mean, think about it. You've known me for a long time through a lot of Maddens. Nobody ever had to worry about the run playing me for most Maddens. And all of a sudden, I'm consistently running the rock. I mean, I'd rather deal with a fumble and a pick. Running is safe. Running keeps the defense off balance. It gives you multiple things to game plan against. If you can run the ball, why not?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I mean, teams where, like you said, I don't even think about them running. It's like I have to kind of worry about that running back, you know. It's just phenomenal. It's been, like I said, this season has been one of my funnest seasons. I think because of the show, because of the motivation being talked about in the chat and guys holding each other accountable. Like, you're not going to do this, you're not going to do that. The Chargers for sure. Getting his voice, out and winning games. You know what I'm saying? It's different when you talk whatever you talk and you don't win games. For like myself, like I can't really be up here saying certain things and be 2-14 or. I mean, I could, but it's like who are you? Who are you to say something? You know what I'm saying? So, for me, that's kind of what motivates me to win consistently, things of that nature. Plus, I know Cletus is going to hit me up if, God forbid, I lose a game I ain't supposed to. Cletus is going to hit me.
Well, trust me, it's like me. That's why. But it's fair. Like me and you have had this conversation before. It's fair when people hit me up when I lose or mention me. Because my reputation has been one of I've consistently been a playoff team, a challenger for a Super Bowl. So it's fair if I'm not where I need to be to get called out, and I don't have a problem with it. Like you said, accountability is key.
Mm-hmm.
The day that I don't want to be held accountable, I probably shouldn't play no more. Like I feel like Herm Edwards. Hello, we played the game to win. So if I'm expected to win and I don't, it's fair to get called out. And that in and of itself doesn't bother me. The disappointment is more in me, and it's more important for me to understand why I'm losing and what's going wrong to fix it, correct it, and move on and get back to where I'm supposed to be. I'm not having a typical good season for me. So I did think about what you said about, hey, maybe I shouldn't do the show. But I'm like, well, I also don't want to be a quitter, or I also don't want to be a baby because things ain't going my way, that I'm going to take my ball and go home either. So I'm like, you know what? You got to be a class act. If I can show up and talk my commentary when I'm winning, then you got to man the hell up and show up when you losing too. It's like, that's a pet peeve of mine. I hate when people win and they go in the chat and they pop off and they have a good time about it. But then when they lose, they want to be bittermen in the chat. Like, I can't stand that shit. Like, nobody likes to lose. Stop being a little bitch. Man up. Get the sand out your clit. Tip your hat to your other opponent. And stop claiming you got Madden. I'm tired of every time everybody loses because Madden got them. Cletus cracked my ass last game. You know what I told Cletus? Cletus hit me up and he goes, damn, Ty. He goes, you know what? You got jobbed. He goes, there was a lot of things that went wrong for you in that game. And I said, Cletus, that's true. But guess what? You was playing on a different level. And that wasn't why I lost. That didn't help me, but that's not why I lost. I give credit where credit's due. And a lot more people in this league need to be more sporting and understand you're going to win some and you're going to lose some. And if you can show up and give commentary and give your takes and opinions and hop in the chat and talk shit when you win, don't be a bitch when you lose.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, it's funny. I experienced that at different level when I played the Jags. I came out, like usually in the first round, boxes come out, they want to like throw the baby jabs and, dance around. And Jacksonville came out like, fuck them jabs. He came out the uppercut. Came out Mike Tyson. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't ready for this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Sending blitz, picking my balls off. I'm like, yo, wait a minute. Hold on. I'm not ready. I wasn't ready for it. I thought this was going to be a casual, just jump on a game. You treated that game like it was a playoff game. You know what I'm saying? So I agree. Levels. So, and me and him actually talked about that. He talked about that. After that, he kind of, once he beat me, he said he kind of like chilled and didn't look at every opponent as the same. But that's when he lost some couple games. And I told him, like, yo, you can't do that. I said the same thing to Boone, like, yo, you got to treat every opponent like it's me, like it's you, like it's a Cletus, like it's a strong, like, or you're going to, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to ever play to the level of your competition because, that's when you lose some games that you're not supposed to lose. Things like that where you think
You're 100% right on that, man, because you don't know how that loss is going to come back to haunt you. And it's funny because even looking at this season, it hasn't went that well for me. I looked at key points in the season. And I'm like, okay, I mismanaged the game against Boone. I could at least kick the field goal one in the OT. Let's just say that would have turned into a win. There's a win right there. The missed field goal against Strong. Let's just say that's a win. The sleeping on the Eagles and, man, forget that guy, man. I'm going to bust this dude's head. And I got pancaked to death. That debacle. There was about 4 or 5 games, despite Davis Webb's season, that I still should have won to be in this playoff conversation. So that's what happens when you play to the level of your competition. You have to respect everybody. You have to go out there and take care of your business. And that's why I applaud the folks that are consistent regularly. And I mentioned those names, you, Cletus, you know, Paya, everybody that's everybody that's in the playoffs now consistently does the same things each and every single game, no matter who the person playing them is. And most of the time, because they do the same things, they get W's.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. I agree. I definitely agree. Who do you think has the potential, or who do you want to see? Who kind of have like who's on your radar for next season?
Wow.
What teams do you think could be most improved next season? I think the Ravens have a shot on the AFC side. I think the Ravens really were impressive to me. You know, new guy. I think that he won some games. He almost made the playoffs. I think he finished out 8-7. He might go 8-8, but I think if he can, him and the Titans, we're only a couple games away. You know what I'm saying? That there were some games where they could have also made the playoffs.
Okay, so I'll start with well, let me look at the AFC because I was looking at the NFC first. So let me look at the AFC. You know what? Chargers 9-6, best record, improved confidence. Knows what it takes now to win. Is really close. Has a quarterback he wants. I wouldn't be surprised to see Chargers take a step up. Titans, like you said, at 9-7, and Ravens 8-7. You nailed it. Those two, I think. Bengals primetime is interesting too. Seems like a good guy to chat. I've talked to him a few times on the PS4 outside the chat. Got some things to work on, but him and Dolphins, there's some potential there for them to win a few more games. I don't know enough about Colts. I've seen his gameplay. Doc's got to be better than 3-12. I see Doc bouncing back. On the NFC side, I would definitely say Creasy going to Minnesota. I don't see the Vikings being 6-10 or 5-10, whatever they are right now. Obviously, with a full season and him being able to draft and build up that team the way he wants. I think he's going to be somebody you got to look at next season. I think I am. I think I'm going to bounce back. I don't put together losing seasons back to back. So I think there'll be some improvement with me. Panthers is always right there on the edge. He's 7-8 right now. I mean, he gets a few things to bounce. Say you did leave the NFC South. All of a sudden now, you know what? This guy might be a player. Niners. Real interested to see with Wap's younger brother with a full season under his belt with that team, what he does. He's shown he's a competitor, and Eagles, like you said, has potential. So I think next year the NFC side is going to look a little different, and it should be fun.
Yeah, hopefully the NFC side doesn't get beat up on by the AFC side. I mean, I looked at their top 6, and I'm like, God, they're all like 2-3 losses. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I feel like, were they dominating us that much over here? Things like that. On the NFC side, who can I see? I'm interested to see if the Saints can still play like they're playing. They made it this time. When a team, when I look at a team who makes the playoffs, it's like, okay, you made the playoffs this year. Now, can you consistently do it? Can we now put your name in that bracket of consistently playing to win? Or did you have a Cinderella year? And I think that I spoke on the Saints. He can't beat the Panthers, but Panthers somehow have his number. He told me, like, hey, I'm going to beat the Panthers. I'm like, okay. But then he lost them twice this year. So can he make it again to the playoffs? Because you see, like you said last year, like the Bucks went 10-6. He's like, I'm going to do this and this and this. And now he's 3 and whatever. You know what I'm saying? So to be impressive to see if he can do that. 49ers for sure. Creasy said he was going to win NFC North. I know the Lions have been reaching out to me. He's been grabbing some tips from me. Hopefully he can turn this season around. I think Boone really needs to be challenged in the NFC West. Even though the Rams play him tight, the Rams can't beat him. They take him to the limit, but they can't beat him. But I really think that the 49ers and Champ need to really put some pressure on Boone in the NFC West. AFC, Chargers, like you said, I agree. You can't go 8 and whatever, 8-8, and now 9-6, and then go down to 7-9. You can't go backwards. So Franco, you have to move forward from that. Doc, you have to go more game. You have to go at least 500 next season for me.
Yeah.
you've been in this league too long to now still be going 3-12. Things like that. So make some moves, make some trades. You got to go better.
I want to touch on Doc real quick because I consider Doc a friend as well. Doc goes back with us to NBL, so me and Doc have a good relationship, and I consider a friend. I think something that hurts Doc. Doc's defensive scheme is always solid. His offense, we talked about the need for identity. But I think the other thing that hurts Doc is Doc doesn't make personnel decisions. If you look at the Denver Broncos, I think the reason why that team declines, remember, I had the Broncos in the AFC West. It's a old veteran team with significant cap numbers. And I think Doc tends to hold on to the Chris Harrises and the Aqib Talibs too long. And the DeMarcus Ware's, granted, he's not there now, but that's just a wild example. You know, we'll have Brandon Marshall until he's like 34, and now Von Miller until he's 34. And I think one of the things Doc can do to really help his cause is to be aggressive in getting rid of high-priced vets that are sucking up his cap space and start infusing that with good young talent, making some good moves in the draft, and trading some pieces. I think that's something that's always hurt Doc, even going back to the NBL. He's just not active with personnel decisions.
Now, because of we're 3 years in, almost in the fourth year. I think them trades to them old guys should have been probably year one. I mean, but you're talking about a huge cap hit. You know what I'm saying? You talking about trading these old guys now or just cutting them? You're talking about almost $10 million in caps just off of, let's say, Von Miller and Chris Harris.
Right, but see, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying to do it now necessarily, but what I'm saying is Doc tends to regress because in that first season, Doc still got these dudes at the very end of their prime. And with his seams, since they're solid, they can carry the day. But you get 3 or 4 seasons into a franchise, and Von Miller is sitting there multi-millions against the cap, but he's a 77 speed, and he's slow and immobile, and he lost the step, and you're still running around with that dude. That's why I think he runs into difficulties. I mean, you got on me a little bit, and I know why, for maybe cutting Eli Manning too early. But every other Madden, I cut Eli at the same time, and it always worked in my favor. This year it didn't. Every year is different, but that's why I do that. That's why you'll see the Steelers typically get rid of big men out the gate. That's why you see the Chargers always offload Phillip Rivers, because we all know that, hey, you can get one season out these guys, draft their parent, and cut them while you can manage that cap hit as opposed to trying to cut them later in the franchise, and now you always do $17 million, and you're cap hell, and you can't do anything about it. But Doc always seems to be in that spot. And I think if Doc made better personnel decisions, I think Doc would see the benefits of that in his win-losses.
I think it's spot on, man. I can't even nothing to debate that. I agree. I totally agree. But I think that's something that you have to consider, right? When you take over a team like the Broncos, right? But if that's not his character or that's not his persona, so I guess, you got it, you don't, you don't, I guess. So.
No, you're right, because Doc's a get on the sticks and play kind of guy. But if you want, there's two different things. I do believe it or not, there's some people in the league that play just for the competition and because it's fun and the camaraderie. But I don't know that they necessarily play to win, as crazy as that sounds.
No, I mean,
roots, I'll give you an example. Like, if this was the NBA, Cletus would be the Black Mamba. Like, then there's that personality. There's the, I don't care who you are. I don't care what your record is. I'm coming to cut your heart out. I ain't got no friends when we play. I'm going to whip your ass. Cletus hit me up after our game. He goes, "Hey, I'm sorry, brother." And I said, "There ain't nothing to be sorry about, man. I did the same shit to you."
Yeah.
There's different mentalities. There's different levels to this shit,
Yeah, I gotta win, man. I just have to win. I can't play and not try to win.
Yeah.
Will eat me up, man. Especially when I go in the chat, guys like, "Oh, he ain't that good. He did this and he ain't that." That shit just burns me alive. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it drives me to win. So, I agree. I could totally agree with that. How do you feel about the Steelers, man? I know, here's a team who last year, and a couple teams in the AFC made the playoffs without, with the CPU game, CPU games. But now that these teams are filled up, how do you see a guy like the Steelers making it? You know what I'm saying? I don't think he wins his division anymore now.
That's tough. because I hate to say that because Bill's my guy,
Listen,
but
he's my guy. He's not winning the division no more, Ty. A spade is a spade.
no. Well, I always keep it real on this show, and that's why I said that's tough because I'm thinking about the gravity of that statement, and I'm thinking you might be right for the simple fact that, like, obviously he lives and dies with Le'Veon. Like one thing, and I told this to Bill, like last Madden, I never understood how Bill always has, because he's a diehard Steelers fan. Brother, you have AB, and that dude is never a factor. You have Antonio Brown, my man. But he lives and dies with Le'Veon. Le'Veon's aging. Le'Veon's getting older. There's fresh new competitors in this league. Dudes developing their schemes. Dudes making moves. You might be right.
Yeah, that Bill Cowher way of playing is over. When do you turn into your Mike Tomlin? Turn into that guy, because that old Bill Cowher way is done. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good analogy.
Yeah, that's what he's doing. He's, I remember back when the Redskins had when they brought Joe Gibbs in and he coached or whatever, and then they were like, he came back running them old 1980 game schemes. It's like, bro, the game is evolutionized since then. You can't run that same offensive stuff here. And that's how I kind of feel like the Bill is doing with the Steelers, where he's like, I'm gonna just run this organized chaos, and we're just gonna figure it out every week and every game. Like, that's cool, but the game has evolved since then. Madden has evolved to where it won't even allow you to just come in here and run these crazy random plays and things like that. You know what I'm saying? So I think it will be interesting to see, because like you said earlier when he was a guest here, you were saying like he always wins his division. But then for me, it's like an asterisk, because he won a division because it was CPU games, and now as owners, and the first year owners are in the league, you don't hold your spot. So now I don't think you're gonna keep it anymore. That's just my opinion. Plus, Big Ben was 50 years old. He took that to the limit a little too long. So
yeah, he did. Normally he cuts Big Ben a little earlier, but I thought that was a funny but awesome analogy about that you made with the Joe Gibbs and the Bill Cowher. We were gonna get to the Mike Tomlin era, but it's funny because I've always told him that, like, Le'Veon's gonna get his. If he could figure out a way to make Antonio Brown a bigger part of his offense, forget it. I understand that struggle a little bit, but then I see the way you utilized Julio Jones, especially last year. And it's like, if you got that dude and you're paying that dude that money, he has to be a big part of your team. This season, I couldn't really make Odell a focal point. For one, everybody going into the game against me is doubling, tripling them, spotlighting them, looking for them. So I try to work around them.
Those are the keys to victory. That's
right. So but that's why I developed everybody else around him. And then I didn't have the confidence in Webb being able to get him the ball. But one of my primary things always and at all times is, like, if you're going to take him away, then I damn sure better get LaMarcus Reed and Sterling Shepard and Evan Ingram. Like, they better have monster games. I got to make you pay one way or the other. It's one thing to use somebody as a decoy and be successful outside of them, but you've got to figure out a way to incorporate Antonio freaking Brown. Yeah. Or trade him and get something big for him.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. Give me your the owner's box opinion. Let's do some awards here real quick. Coach of the year, who you got?
I will say Raiders. I don't care that he lost today. I mean, it's the last game of the season. What the man did from start to finish was phenomenal, and he deserves the props.
I agree. MVP, who you got?
There's so many good candidates. It's funny, since I don't want to be a hypocrite, if we're going to say the Raiders is the coach of the year, and prior to today, the man had one loss on the season, then it would stand to reason that you got to look at, well, why was he successful? And when you look at what Jeremy Hill's done, if I had a gun in my head right now, I'd say let's look at Jeremy Hill.
Oh, who do I call consider MVP? That's a good. That is tough, man. There's a lot of guys playing some ball. I agree with you on that. I mean, what he's done I didn't even know he existed until like 2 weeks ago, and like now he's like
For
on
real.
every stat.
You hit that right in the head. The dude went
Who
from
the hell is this guy?
like number 2 in like the last week.
Yeah, who is this guy? I'm like, who the hell is this guy? You know, I thought it was somebody on the Jets. You know what I'm saying? I was like, damn, okay, cool. So yeah, I can agree with that. Give me offensive, huh?
Go ahead.
I was give me your offensive players of the year. Give me the AFC offensive player and the NFC offensive player.
In a weird way, I'm almost tempted for AFC Player of the Year, but I can't because of all the picks to go with Deshaun Kaiser. That guy's been everything for Cleveland.
Okay, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with the Jets quarterback.
I don't think McLaughlin played the full season though.
Well, any quarterback he got. I don't know. Neither one of them are like stars. Pick any quarterback. I mean, you know, that's funny how they say guys who's playing good systems. Cletus is them owners like that. A team, you know, he builds teams like that. Like where they say, like when you say like he ain't played the whole season. It don't matter. The system. He's in a good system. You know what I'm saying? We might can create our own version of ourselves and put him in a game. And he might make us win. You know what I'm saying? Like I think his system is that good. Like,
well, okay, and I feel you on that, but it kind of goes back to the NFL top 100. Like Odell Beckham inevitably is going to get voted to this list. You see this every year with J.J. Watt or Aaron Rodgers, where there's half the players that vote that go, well, how you going to put him on the list if he ain't play? And then there's other people, it's like, I don't give a damn if he played or not. That's Odell Beckham.
All right, well, I'll give you, let's go. If that's the case, then let's go Kaiser then. The dude, without him, Browns don't win no games.
And that's why I said Kaiser in a weird way.
He had a hell of a play last game. I watched him, man. He like ran up to the line of scrimmage and like put the brakes on, ran back, ran to the right, and threw a touchdown. If the move was so nice, even the Browns owner was like, damn. You know what I'm saying?
I'm telling you, man. Like the only thing that kind of was a little tough to swallow is all the picks, but he still has such a phenomenal outpouring of offense. Like, you know how they do those breakdowns? Like, I guarantee if you break down the amount of offense, and I think that's why Darius Jackson's getting a lot of love on the game. If you broke down the amount of offense they were responsible for in their team's wins, like Deshaun Kaiser's probably like 70% of that entire team's offense.
Yeah. Okay. So give me AFC defensive player of the year.
Earl Thomas.
Earl Thomas hands down. Earl Thomas hands down. The things that he's doing in Jacksonville are amazing. You know, it makes you almost think should Boone has franchise tagged him if he could have. Maybe he's playing to say screw you, Boone. I'm on your brother's team for a reason. You know what I'm saying? But the man is he's on steroids out there. Like he even snatched one from Julio. I'm like, damn. You know what I'm saying? So
that's crazy.
He's for sure hands down defensive player of the year, AFC wise. I mean, even period, in my opinion. But yeah, definitely for the AFC. Who you have in NFC offensive player of the year?
Chris Warren, Washington Redskins quarterback. I don't think that, like everybody knows, WAP's offense is the greatest show on turf, even though they're not on turf. But yeah. I don't think that his team is getting enough love on the offensive side of the ball on the game in the categories. Like, he's put up the most points in the league by 100. The trigger man going to Ross and Perriman is Chris Warren. Got to give that guy's props. Chris Warren.
I'm going to go bias. I'm going to go with Julio Jones. For him to go from 95 speed to 90 speed in the season, he's 30-plus years old. And like I said, I'm only 115 yards away from 2,000 receiving yards, and I don't even have 80 catches yet.
That's crazy.
It's phenomenal. I didn't even know that. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. That type of stat like that. I didn't even know a stat until I looked like, oh shit, he got almost 2,000 yards. Because it kept coming up on the man feed like Julio Jones has the best hands we've ever seen, and I'm like, what the heck are they talking about? But he could break the record. When I seen it, I was like, damn. So for me, I know you're gonna lock him down and try to do your thing, but I'm telling you right now, I'm trying to get this 2,000 tie. So. I mean, and I think that, like I said, plus he's over 30. To go from 95 speed to 90 and do better numbers that you had last year is crazy. And my scheme didn't change. You know what I'm saying? So That's just me. I think because Warren, he throws the deep ball and he does that so much, but he has 295 plus speed guys. If we put, does he still make them plays? You know what I'm saying?
But
Because a lot of them jump balls are like your guy, he jumped over. And I think Boone's guys he was jumping over, but everybody else he was just outrunning. You know what I'm saying? They were just speed, couldn't contest.
you know what? I hear you on that, but you have to look at the award based off what they've actually done as opposed to, well, if he had two regular guys. Like at the end of the day, he doesn't have two regular guys. Like at the end of the day, he's got them burners. I'm trying to pull this up right now because this dude's got to have like 5,000 yards. Whoa.
No, he doesn't.
This dude's only got 3,600 yards passing.
All right, because I lead the league in passing.
2 touchdowns and 18 picks.
Yeah, because I lead the league in passing.
How many yards you got, man?
Like 46.
Hold on. You know what? Andrew Luck, 4,400 yards, 38 TDs, 24 picks.
Yeah. So,
damn. Look, quiet, nice season, man. I know you wasn't high on Luck a lot of the season, but I'm real curious who led the league in passing yards. You said you?
Yeah, it's me. Right now, it's me.
We have ran more in this league, man. I could have sworn. Damn.
Yeah. Who you got defensive player of the year? NFC side of the ball.
You know, I know it's not going to be the popular pick, but I'm torn between Eric Kendricks and damn Travion Wilkerson from Green Bay.
I'm fine with that. We'll give him co-MVPs.
Yeah.
We'll give him co-MVPs.
And I know Jags, and Jags actually makes a good point here. He's like, hey, Ty and Gates, how damn Fournette can't get no love for MVP offensive player of the year with almost 1,900 yards and 26 TDs? And he makes a good case, man. Almost 2K on the ground and 26 touchdowns.
Because his defense still wins him games. Because, you know, Earl Thomas can still win him games when Fournette doesn't show up, or he doesn't. Where Kaiser has to be good every game.
Thank you.
He has to be good every game.
And you hit all of that right on the head, because here's the other thing. For Fournette to have that type of season, he's also have to have a pretty good line in front of him. Kaiser's a one-man show with not weapons around him.
Yeah. Even the Robinson guy is solid. The receiver he always throws to.
Yeah.
But again, I mean, he does everything. I mean, if you watch the Browns game, my God, man, the guy he wins it, you know, the game he just won, where he was it the 49ers game or whatever that was?
Yeah.
28-21 game. It's like, yo, he even said it like, yo, like I didn't even know if Kaiser was going to show up. Because I teased him like, yo, you had 10 people watching your stream. Maybe it was too much pressure for Kaiser.
Yo, you said that.
He was like, yo, I didn't even know. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he even said it during the stream. Like, why is everybody watching my game? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, yo, like, he has to win. Like, Kaiser has to show up for him to win. Where Fournette, he doesn't have to show up, but you can still win them games. And that's the reason why we say that he's the MVP. And things of that nature. Sure. I mean, with that being said, does Warren get the MVP for the Redskins? I don't know, because he still has them receivers, things like that. I mean, I could probably still win games without Julio. But, you know, you can't compare them to Kaiser. You know, he's everything. He's everything. He's throwing the ball, running the ball. He's selling tickets, parking cars,
serving hot dogs.
Listen, he's doing all of it. He's doing it all. He's shaking hands, autographs, addressing the media. You know what I'm saying? He's doing everything. So that's the difference. Like you said, Eric Kendricks and Wilkerson. Wilkerson he's putting up these sacks that you can't ignore. The only edge I would give to Eric Kendricks is that Will is using them. You know what I'm saying? And for Will to do that by himself is impressive.
Yeah. You hit that right on the head, and it's funny because, damn it, I'm trying to see something, because I'm a man of logic and reason, and upon looking at the stats after all of Chris Warren, I might have to retract that and look at what you're saying with Julio. So I'm trying to see something real quick, because I don't know why in my mind I thought Chris Warren was closer to like 5,000 yards than he was. Hell, Davis Webb almost threw for as many yards as Chris Warren.
Mm-hmm.
You know what, man?
But
I will say Julio, although I want to look at Tyreek here real quick.
I got him by 300 yards, something like that. $200 I got him by.
See, but now here's where the choice between those two gets difficult. If Julio Jones got injured for you, I don't think you miss a beat.
Yeah, I don't.
Think about what we said about Watt. If Tyreek Hill is not in that lineup for Green Bay, think about what most valuable player actually means. If Julio Jones gets knocked out, Gates is still rolling. If Tyreek Hill gets knocked out and that dude doesn't have Spire, what do you think Pie is at?
Oh, he's done. This season's over.
You know what I'm saying? So who's more valuable? It's the same argument we just now said for Deshaun, for Kaiser over Fournette. If Kaiser's knocked out for Cleveland, that dude's looking at a top 5 pick in the draft.
Agreed.
If Fournette's locked out, Jags is still in the playoffs.
But see, Green Bay made it to the playoffs last year, NFC Championship, and they didn't have a Spires and they didn't have a Hill.
But you're right. But even though Julio has the monster impressive numbers he has, I just feel like he's not – you don't need him to win. I feel Paya needs Hill to win. I feel WAP needs Rashad Perriman and John Ross to win. Like, to you, your scheme is going to get it done no matter what players you plug in there. Their schemes are predicated upon specific player personnel. So if that person's not there, what happens to him?
Okay. That's a fair argument.
But that being said, I'm still going to give it to Julio. Just because I don't give a damn who you are. Like you said, a declining wide receiver close to 2,000 yards. Hey, I got to tip the hat. Julio Jones.
Yeah. I mean, even for Fournette to have almost 2,000 yards rushing.
Got to tip the hat.
Hell,
no
you
one's
got my respect. Listen,
no
you got my respect. The man don't got 95 speed, 93 acceleration. You know, he don't got no monster stats. Is he not even a superstar rated, right?
Not sure yet. I've been jerking around some other stuff. Let me see.
I can check right now. I don't think he even has that in his Oh yeah, he has a star rating. He has a star rating. He has a star rating. But he's 90 speed, 90 acceleration, 99 carry, 99 ball carry, 92 trucking. I mean, hats off to you, man. If you even get the ball carry in the ball carry vision to 99, that's super dope. I mean, and his awareness is 99. I think those are the best 3 ratings for a running back. They need to be addressed on every running back. And you got them up to 99, and that shows. I think they got him at 1,700 yards currently. You still have another game to go unless you played your game. You're almost close to beating Adrian Peterson's record. Fournette in the Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm like I said, I'm only 115 yards away from beating Calvin Johnson's record at 30+ years old. So, you know, it's tough.
That's been so low key too, man. I gotta give you props, man. Like until you said that, I'm like, what?
Yeah. You know, the only person that stops that today is you. So
1,885 yards, 12 TDs. That's the only thing you'd like to see more from a monster season like that. Is if Julio would have been about 20 TDs, then there's no conversation whatsoever.
Yeah.
Tyreek Hill, 1,600 yards, 1,671, 16 TDs.
Right now, that's what I'm saying. Like, you see the impact of what he had on Green Bay? You took all of that stat and that powerhouse off of the Chiefs.
Yeah.
If the Chiefs have that guy still, where do they rank? You know, real quick, AFC's playoffs is set at Jets at 1, Raiders at 2, Jags at 3, Browns at 4, Pats at 5, and Chiefs at 6. So we looking at Jags and Chiefs round 1 versus Browns and Pats. Oh, that's gonna be some nice, good games right there on the AFC side of the ball. And I think we picked our winners, right? Jags and Pats.
Yeah. And outside shout out to my guy, the dark horse, Darius Jackson, was 1,400 yards rushing, 21 touchdowns, 50 receptions damn near, like combined all purpose. Like he's my leading receiver. He's my leading rusher. There's a reason he's high up on these lists, but phenomenal output by by Julio Jones, by Tyreek Hill, by Leonard Fournette, by Deshaun Kaiser, Jeremy Hill.
Yeah. Deion Lewis had a monster season.
Yes.
Ezekiel Elliott had 1,500 yards.
Hey, and if Cletus didn't have his running back go down to where he had to split carries, because Cletus has two monster running backs, two distinct different styles. Fincher is his power dude. He's his Fournette.
Mm-hmm.
But then he also had that Griffin Spires dude out there, Griffin Hayden. And that kid was a speed demon. So if he had one consistent running back throughout the whole year, he'd probably be right there with all little stats too.
Yeah, I mean, and you had Pats had two guys had monster seasons, of course, Cooks and Deion Lewis. Cooks over 1,600 yards catching. And I don't know if he played this game yet. And then we have Deion Lewis, 7 yards short of 1,600. Who also had a phenomenal season. Fournette, again, he had 20 more carries and almost 200 more yards, which is super impressive. I mean, it's been some really good ball this year, man. It has really been good. A lot of good football this year.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to see who else stood out. Cletus's receiver, what's his name? Stanton. He had a great year. David Johnson.
Yeah.
Had a good year. Those are the top 5 running backs: Jeremy Hill, Ezekiel, Deion Lewis, and Fournette. On the sack side, we got Clowney, Wilkerson, Leonard Floyd, Khalil Mack, and Bosa from the Chargers. Definitely all are valuable keys on their defense. I mean, man, it's just been a good season. It's just been a good season across the board for everybody. Even if the teams that weren't that great, they still had some players that stood out and helped their teams for sure get some wins and just make an impressive impact on their team.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Yep. And what's cool is we're sitting here December 30th, so we know for a fact you're going to have pretty much the same type of participation level at least all through next season. Because I don't think it starts getting dicey until around April and March. That's when April, that's when you kind of start seeing people 5, 6, 7 seasons in. All of a sudden, hey, I'm going to start playing 2K now, or I'm going on vacation, or I'm going on hiatus, or I'll be back, or next year. But we look like we got at least 2 more good, solid seasons in us of the same type of play.
Yeah, and for the record, we still keep going until the next Madden comes out. It's just some guys going auto due to summertime, right?
Yeah, they play 24/7.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Because I know a couple people ask me like, "Hey, man, how long is this league around for?" I'm like, bro, it doesn't go off. They just keep playing until the new Madden comes out. I usually just go on vacation around like summertime.
That's what I do.
Yeah,
I normally, and it's funny because I know for a fact Cletus and Bill, they'll literally play until it's down to them, and everybody else is on auto, and those two are still going at it, boy. So there's definitely, if you want to play year round, this is the league for you.
Yeah, they're doing that for sure. And then they keep their teams. You keep your teams, right? And you keep your team into the, keep your team into your team. Again, man, I would love to mix it up. A season or 2, man, we all just top guys just jump in the same division. Let's dog fight it out. It's a challenge to the Cletuses, to the Wops, to the Booms, to you, both Booms, both boards. Let's stop ducking each other and let's let's go head to head. Let's really, go clash of the Titans one season and see how it goes, and let's go, move forward from there. And again, anybody watching, anybody on the AFC side of the ball, I'm looking to bring my talents to the AFC. To take over ownership of the Falcons at least until the next new man, because I want them back. My team in real life. Ever to get this team, yo. I had to wait like 4 Mads to get this team. God Lord.
If there's one person, so a little fun thing. If you can go in any division you want to match up with one person specifically twice a season, who is that person and what division do you go to?
I'm gonna go to y'all division because it's you, WAP, you and WAP twice. I'm gonna go with y'all twice. I think that's more of a competitive thing for me. Over let's say AFC East because yeah, me and Cleveland go head to head, but I think me and him will still beat the other two teams.
Right.
I don't see Strong beating me twice a year. I don't see it. You know, I'm gonna treat Strong. I know him. I know him for some years now. To me, he's had 2 good Madden seasons, but you're still the guy from Madden 17 to me. You know, mentally, that's how I'm looking at it. Now, and
Sure.
you beat me something different, but that's how I'm approaching every game. Like I'm not giving you that respect yet until you earned it. So Cleanest has gotten that from me. He's won some Super Bowls. You know, me and him talk a lot. We have the same mad mind. You know what I'm saying? Mad mindset. So, but for you and WAP in the same division, and you know, if we can get Moondog out and get Boone in, I think that would be something crazy.
That I'll tell you what, that's one person right there, man, that I would like to be in the same division with because
I would like to see both Boer brothers and Cletus and maybe the Chargers or maybe, you know what I'm saying, like a Strong in the same division.
Oh my goodness, none of those. Yes, or throw Jags in that mix.
Yeah,
imagine both boys, Cletus. That'd be good one, man.
Or both Boer brothers and both Boone brothers. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my goodness.
I'll take, you know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, me, you, WAP, and WAP little brother in the same division, and I think it'd be dope. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Goodness.
You know, that's what I'm saying. So let's consider some of these things. Let's make it happen, man. I mean, it's different. It's different. Put a Pie and Cletus in the same division with the Chargers and you know, whoever their verbal enemy is. Does Cletus still come out on top? I think Cletus and Pie twice a year would be definitely competitive. Because Cletus has to always find a way to win, as Pie always has some type of fancy trick up his sleeve. You know what I mean? Just some different things, man. You know, it's definitely some things to consider. I don't know if guys are willing to do that, but you know, I would for sure love to jump in somebody's division or let them pick my division. You know what I'm saying? And then we just go from there. I'll take whatever team try to win.
Yeah.
Because then it doesn't come to conversation like, oh, well, you had the Falcons. You know, but people don't remember I used to have the Bucks. You know what I'm saying? And I took them to the playoffs a bunch of times, deep in the playoffs. And then before that, back in the NBL, I had the Panthers. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, you know an idea I experimented with for a while and never did it, but I thought it'd be fun? And that would be to start a league. Like when we got out, finished the NBL right before I came here, I thought about this. I'm like, you know what? I want to start a league. Everybody has to pick their teams out of a hat.
Yeah, the old school way we used to do it.
Right. Well, and not only that, whatever team you pick, you have to use their stock playbook on offense and defense. That would have been the concept for that league. So if you get the damn Bills, you got to use the Bills playbook on offense and defense. You get the damn Panthers, you got to use, because I felt like it would have really forced people to really dig deep into them playbooks and get real creative and crafty and come up with some really solid stuff. And it just would have been fun to, like, imagine watching, like, Cletus is the Browns, or imagine watching me not as the Giants, but as the damn, I don't know, the Dolphins. And I have to use the Dolphins playbook and their personnel and customize everything for that team because I have to use all their stuff.
Yeah, that's different. I mean, for me, I like it. I would try it. It just becomes so important for what team you get. Because for me, I've never played 4-3 ever in any Madden. I never played 4-3. All I know is 3-4. So for me to take a team like the Falcons, their defense is 4-3. Oh, I'm screwed. You know what I'm saying? Like, how much more of a challenge is that for me?
But I know how your Madden mind thinks, and I know how your competitive fire works. So while it's an uphill challenge, I guarantee you put in some time to figure out how you're going to make that work.
Yeah, I think they have a 4-6 set in their defense. Yeah. I would just run 4-6. I'm living in 4-6. You know what I'm saying? I'm running nickel. All season I'm running nickel because I don't want no parts of 4-3. I don't know. I understand how it works, but mechanics for me don't work. Like, it doesn't fit my style of play, things like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Listen, Ty, whatever it takes, man, I'm all for it. Again, I would love to even do a prize type of thing for the Super Bowl winner. Even if it's like buy the next copy of Madden or something like that.
Yeah, I tried to push that. It didn't go over.
Yeah. Yeah. I would love to I guess before we start the new season, man, let's try to get Bill back on here. Talk about anything new that's happening this season. I know you guys always talk during the off season about things changing and rules and things of that nature. How you feel about no huddle, man? Being able to run no huddle a little bit more.
Well, the original issue with why no huddle was banned, and going back to Madden 13, 14, and some of the early Maddens, it was even worse. It's gotten a little better, but it's still bad, is that it puts the defense at a distinct disadvantage. It's not a matter of the defense gets tired or gassed. Your audibles get jacked up. You can't call certain plays. Like, your dudes don't line up in the right position. It's a clear disadvantage. So,
but the counter, you call timeout, right? That's the whole purpose of running no huddle, right?
Okay, so if you want to run no huddle all game, like
not all game, then you be out of timeout.
First quarter.
You be out of timeouts in the first quarter. You can't run it all game. Yeah, no, right. I get it.
Right, so that's where it became dicey. For me, honestly, man, the way I've always been, and it's because I come from the Wild Wild West. I played a lot of lobby games. I played lobby ball. I played in outlaw leagues where you could nano blitz and everything went. So for me, no matter what's going on, I've always tried to adjust to it. So to be honest, for me personally, man, whatever the rules are, I'm going to figure out a way how to play within that system and adjust and make it work for me. Yeah. So I'm never one of those, you can't do this, you can't do that kind of people, because there's a counter for everything. Yeah. That's just, especially if you look at the new audible system, the way that's set up.
I love it. Audibles on the fly.
Right. The defense, you have the ability on the fly to say, okay, well, because the other thing, whenever I play chronic no huddlers online, I place the shit out of them, and it works against them. Yeah, they're going to get me sometimes. They're going to catch me out of position, but there's a lot of times I'm going to sack the hell out of them. So I figure, I can make it work. Now, the one thing that I know we've discussed a lot that the other commissions like, and it came from an idea I had on this show, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be part of a rules change we're going to look at, and that's allowing opponents the ability to concede in the fourth quarter. And the reason I feel that's important is it goes back to the long conversation you had about the Cletus Bills game, and it's a way to preserve sportsmanship. It's a way to preserve stats and avoid some of these disconnects. Like, I had a monster game against Philly. 42-0. I had awesome stats. It was much needed experience points for my team. It would have really positioned some of my guys in the awards races. And instead, this guy, because he was getting his ass kicked, just disconnected. But if people now know that they have the ability to, hey, I just got to get to the fourth quarter, I'm done, and concede, and you can save stats, why not? So I know that's something we're probably looking to do.
Oh, that'd be dope. I didn't know you can once you quit, they still keep the stats and stuff like that.
Yeah, you just got to quit a certain way. And I'm trying to remember exactly, like, so
it's instead of picking quit.
Go ahead.
It's like instead of you quitting, you pick the concede option, and then it offers the guy winning the opportunity to say yes or no.
Right. And if they say yes, they have to concede first. Then you concede. I mean, you go second, and it preserves everything as is.
Oh, yeah, I like that. That's cool. I like that.
Well, if you're Joe Deasy, it's 57-0 going into the fourth, do you want to keep playing? Now, the other thing I like about that, because the caveat I have for that I told the other commissions is, okay, so I'm beating somebody 42-0, and I ask them in the fourth quarter if they want to concede, and they say no, then I shouldn't be expected at that point to take my foot off the gas. I gave you an out. You didn't want to take it. So you obviously want to continue playing. So at that point, I don't think I should have to sit here and do 25 punts and knees. Like, it's fair game to me at that point.
So then do you allow at 42, do you allow yourself to then continue to play but chew the clock on offense, or what?
To me, honestly, if you don't accept whatever the other person wants to do, is all game. Like, for me personally, I wouldn't just, if I'm up 42-0 and I say, Gates, you want to concede, you say no, I'm not going to look to just bomb you out and put up 28 more points in the quarter. But I'm gonna chew clock. I'm gonna be respectful. I'm gonna do things to not like crush you. But if I wanted to be an a-hole and go at your head, I feel it should be okay. You didn't want to concede.
Listen, I'm all for it. You know what I'm saying? I'm all for it. Again, I like it, because if you give me the out and I say no, and you decide, like you said, you decide to score 20 with something more points, I have two options: either stop the shit or quit. You know what I'm saying? Not quit the game, but I had the option to quit.
Right.
So yeah, it makes sense. But then you shouldn't be penalized then if I run up the score. Then is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying. Like, because, well, if you think about a lot of rules, the way it's set up in place currently, it's so that we don't have people quitting games. It's to where we don't lose owners due to bad sportsmanship. And there was no option to surrender the game. So that's why we put those breaks on.
Yeah.
But now if we're going to provide people an option and out to say, hey, I had enough. It's not working for me today. I'm being mad, and whatever you want to say, I'm getting my ass kicked. I'm good. And I can get out the game. But I say, no, I still want to take an ass kicking. I want to bring in my backups. I want to run a different scheme. I know this game's lost, but I still want to play. Then I shouldn't penalize the other person who's hot at the moment and kill their momentum and make them do a bunch of other weirdo crap.
Yeah, I get it. Now, what about position changes?
I know that's always been controversial amongst the commission. For me, there's a lot of position changes I don't actually have an issue with that I know. Like me and Cletus argue about this to this day. No one's ever going to be able to convince me that you shouldn't be able to move an aging Dominique Rodgers-Cromartie to safety.
I agree.
If I want to make that move, is there an advantage for me because he has high awareness in zone? Yes. Is there a disadvantage for me because he's going to get ran over in the run game? I'm willing to take that chance. So if I want to, I don't see the problem with it. And I don't know why we can't get that passed. I don't know why. And I know Cletus is my arch rival when it comes to that because we argue about that. And I don't see why.
I agree with that. You should be able to move them guys, man. We're talking about, especially if you notice, no safety, even in this new man, in the way that the draft system, even if you put a cap on it, like, yo, his speed can't be over 90, like 90. You know what I'm saying? Like, put the cap on. Like, he has to be 30 years older and speed.
Yes.
90 or, 90 whatever speed. You know what I'm saying? 90 or 80, 89 and 30. You know what I'm saying? If he's 30 years old or he has 89 speed or slower, put him in safety. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's some strong safeties have like 83 speed. Now in the NFL, they put them at outside linebackers. You know what I'm saying?
That's another change I'd be good with. Just like, to me, the whole fullback thing, it was a big controversy earlier, like a couple of weeks ago. Titans was upset because the Texans ran a play that required the fullback to run the ball, but Texans didn't have a fullback in position. He had a running back, I believe, or a tight end, and Titans was upset about it. That's another change. I don't give a shit who plays fullback.
Yeah, especially if I can run dual halfback package. Bro,
you know what I'm saying? I don't care if you have a tight end at fullback. I don't care if you have a running back at fullback. Fullback, how many people are running their offense through a fullback?
Show me a fullback who got 100 yards rushing.
Exactly. Like, who cares?
Not even in the game, in the season.
You know what I'm saying? So that's another position change. The only time I wouldn't be in favor, I'll tell you another position change I wouldn't care about. And I know this is another one that me and Cletus, either me and Cletus agreed or we disagreed, and I forget. No, me and Cletus agreed. If you have an aging wide receiver, like let's say Brandon Marshall right now, if I put Brandon Marshall at tight end and the dude's 33 or 34 years old, so speed-wise he's down about an 84 speed.
Put him at tight end.
Exactly. If anything, I don't really see it as an advantage because guess what? When I want to run, he's a liability. Exactly. So if somebody wants to me, that's another position. If you want to put an aging wide receiver at tight end and they're past a certain threshold, go for it.
Yeah, like he has to be. If he's a certain weight and a certain, I wouldn't put like a 5'8" guy as tight end. You know what I'm saying?
Like Sterling Shepard can't be wide receiver.
Yeah, like that's stupid. Yeah, that's stupid. But if he's a certain height and weight and a certain speed and a certain age, sure, why not? That's your disadvantage. I don't see him being beneficial other than something on a drag. But my 80-something speed with linebacker should have stick that 80-something speed receiver.
Yeah.
Sitting in the blitz, he can't block nothing. You know what I'm saying? So I agree with that. I mean, defensive linemen, some defensive linemen should be able to move the outside linebacker or vice versa. Can we do that or no?
Yeah, the front seven are interchangeable.
Okay, so I can take a linebacker and put him down to DE and vice versa?
You sure can. The front seven's interchangeable on defense.
Okay, even on offense is just the O linemen are interchangeable, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What about receiver to running back? If he, let's say for example, Julio Jones 30, his speed is 90, but he has like good ball carry things like that. But he's only like a buck and some change.
For me, I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Like, how do you feel about that? I don't have a problem with that.
I mean, I look at the stats like, ooh, I wish I could put you a running back and just try it. I just would let her try it and see if he can do something. You know, he might get hurt.
He might fumble a lot.
Yeah, he might. You know what I'm saying? You know, things like that.
That's the other reason why I don't have. See, what I see when we talk about position changes is everybody tends to focus on what they perceive the advantage would be. But even amongst me and the other commissioners, what I feel they don't see is, but look at the disadvantages as well. Don't focus on, oh, well, this dude has this advantage. Yeah, but he has this disadvantage. If the owner wants to take that chance, high risk, high reward.
Yeah. Yeah. But the safeties to cornerbacks to safeties, they should be interchangeable all day. I mean, the older guys, you know, or a guy, again, if that cornerback doesn't have 80 something, if that cornerback doesn't have 90 speed, he should be able to go to safety. Because again, like Ricardo Allen, he's a safety by default.
Yes.
But he's only like 150 something and weight.
Yeah.
So I got it. Like when I was playing Jacksonville, I kept getting pissed because Fournette was trucking him. But I had to think about like, Mark, he's only 125. You know what I'm saying? Like he can't tackle him even if he wanted to. He couldn't tackle him. You know what I'm saying? And most of them cornerbacks can't tackle, period. So me knowing that, it's like, yo, you got to cover everybody. And God forbid you back there by yourself because you can't tackle nothing. You know what I'm saying? So that's my disadvantage. Yeah, he has great zone and awareness. But God forbid he got to make a touchdown, save and tackle. He ain't going to make it.
Exactly.
He ain't going to make it.
Yeah, so that's why, like, for me, honestly, I don't have a problem personally with a lot of the position changes, but I know whenever this has come up in the past, there's a 5 or 6 man admin team. And typically, I don't get the support to go forward with those, which is fair because we have a voting process. I could like it all day long, but if I get outvoted, I respect it and I move on. But I just don't see the issue with a lot of those changes.
Right, and Jacksonville said his fullback might have 100 yards rushing. I'm about to let me see real quick.
Well, it's like Raiders. Raiders was the only person in years that I've been in this league that I ever seen.
Yes, he has 10 carries for 119 yards for the season, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he had 2 good runs against the Saints. 2 attempts for 71 yards. That's lightning strike. Lightning struck for him for 1 game. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, if a guy wants to take his running back, again, I run dual halfback package. And then it's like, if I run it in certain formations, I mean, you know, it's not, if I can't, we don't run it, I don't dominate the whole game doing that. It's not possible to have 100 yards rushing from the fullback position. I've never seen it done.
Exactly. The only person I've seen who made good use of that fullback throughout the years was Raiders with Marcel Reese. Because you got to remember, Marcel Reese was typically in them high 80s for speed, and Raiders like to run a lot of I-form and stuff when I was over there in the AFC West. But even he, like you said, you didn't go into a game plan going, I had to stop Marcel Reese.
No, never.
You know?
And the fullback guy has been toned down in this last Madden, so it's not as super effective as it used to be. 4th down rule. Let's talk about that. How you feel about the 4th down rule? Can you can go for it? Man, sometimes I don't even know when you can go for it.
Hey, man, I'm on the damn admin team, and sometimes I got to go and let me look this damn thing up right now because you hit it right on the head.
Yeah, I feel like I got to pull the book out. Sometimes I'll be watching certain games and it's like a long gap on a 4th down. I'm like, oh, they must be looking up the 4th down rule.
Yeah, man. Hey, that or they challenging something.
Yeah, right. It's like
I'm sitting there waiting, and then my phone buzzing. Hey, man, can I go for it? And I'm thinking, shit, I don't know. Go ahead, man. You know, I'm cool. I ain't gonna say that. If you can't, go ahead, man. I'm good.
Yeah, like I don't even know. I don't even say nah, but punt it maybe.
Okay, so without looking at the rules, my remembrance of that rule in the first half, it has to be under 2 minutes in the half, and you have to be on your side of the field to go for it. It's got to be like 4th and 1 or less. Like you can't go for it on 4th and 21 if you're on your opponent's 47. In the second half, that's where it gets a little more dicey. I think you can go for it more times, but it has to be dependent on what the score in the game is in the third and fourth quarter. Like if you're down by like 21, you can go for it more often. Or if you're down by 14 in the fourth quarter, you can. There's like a bunch of different like weird stipulations around it.
Yeah, so I'm looking at the rule right now. It say that in the first half, you're only allowed to go for it once. No, it says you're allowed to make one fourth down attempt in the first half on your opponent's side of the field. One additional attempt will be allowed only if it ends the half. If the play does not end the half and results in a first down, you must kneel out to the half.
See, hey, you know what, Gates?
That's funny right there.
I know you actually gave me a good idea. The next time we do a show, I really think we should sit down and read and break and go through all of the rules, all of them. It's not a lot, but there's so much controversy. I mean, if you look at yesterday, I think Cletus and Titans went back and forth for about an hour about some I didn't even really know what was going on or what. I think maybe he had a CPU game and he restarted it and he got called out on it. And he was going back and forth about why it was wrong and what was the exact rule. So I think maybe one of these shows we should just break out the rules. Maybe, like you said, the one where we get Bill on and just talk about the rules and why they're in place and what they mean.
Yeah, because for me, man, I think a lot of the rules are created geared towards old Madden, and old Madden is now old Madden, and this new Madden is new, but the rules still kind of have some of the old Madden views on them. If that makes sense.
It does.
Like the sky high punt really hasn't been a thing this year. People could do it online, and I really haven't had the issue where the guy drops the ball as often. Has that happened to you?
Once or maybe twice, but it was such a freak weird thing that it wasn't something I'd be worried about. Like say we allowed sky high punts, I wouldn't be excessively worried. I would just note a fair catch all of them and move the hell on. And not even
put a better returning guy back there.
Yeah,
the guy's not dropping it. The guy's consistently dropping the ball. Put your number one receiver back there and just fair catch him. Something like that could be changed. Yeah, I mean, we should do that. Like the glitch lobby plays. The nano blitzing isn't really a thing this Madden. Due to nano detection.
You know what? You hit that right on the head because the nano detection really neutralized all of them, the so-called nano blitz. I mean, you can't even consistently run the same, even though it's a stock regular blitz, a certain amount of times before the line picks up on it.
Yeah.
The one thing I will say about the rules committee that I do appreciate, they're really open. Like, I'll tell you guys on the show a lot of stuff that happens behind the scenes you guys don't know. All of us actively monitor the chat. Cletus is frequently in the chat. I'm frequently in the chat. And a lot of times, even when we don't comment, we read daily what goes on. A lot of times when you guys bring up topics in the chat, whether you add us or not, if we think it's relevant and it has steam, we always discuss it in our separate commissions chat. We discussed, perfect example, the conceding rule. We discussed, hey, should we make this a pay league based off of what DZ was saying? So a lot of times, if you guys really feel strongly about something and there's good merit to it, I don't want you guys to think we don't discuss it because we actually do. Hey, did you guys see what Gates said? Hey, what do you guys think about that? How do you think we can make that work? So keep in mind, we actively do look to amend and tweak the rules and also listen to what you guys say. So you guys do have a much stronger voice than you guys think.
Listen, man, I'm going to speak from a guy who's played in multiple leagues, and I'm invited to a ton of leagues. I jumped out of these leagues because the rules are ridiculous. This league compared to other leagues is much more different, much easier to play in. I mean, some of these leagues, man, I've actually had to pause the game, text the guy hold on, let me check the rules real quick. It's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? It's like there's a league, man, where I can only move one guy on defense. I'm like, what? You know what I'm saying? And it has to be the guy that I'm using. I'm like, what? You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you can't do that. You can't do this. My phone's buzzing up. I'm like, listen, I'm out. I just want to play Madden, bro.
For real. If I gotta think too much right now. I feel like I've been working stuff.
It's crazy. If I gotta do all this, you might just play the computer. If you're gonna stop me from doing all these things, you might just play the computer. Just say that. You guys just play the computer. You know what I'm saying? So overall, man, it's been good. I mean, and the rules aren't bad at all, man, compared to leagues at all. I think the forward down rule is cool, especially for the first half. If you're down, you know what I'm saying? I'll give you if you maybe in the red zone in the but that's not real. I mean, even in the real NFL, you know what I'm talking about, they kick field goals first half. So nah, I don't really have no complaints with the rules. Just maybe some position changes for me. Me personally, I think we could look, you guys can look at. And again, if you're gonna do them and the things that we're saying, just put the thresholds on them, whether it be age and speed. I think a lot of them, and I think at least try it for a season. If we don't like it, put it back. You know what I'm saying? Put it back to the way it was.
Yeah.
It seems like the offensive line could use a buff XP wise, in my opinion. I mean, they're so neutralized. It took me forever to get my offensive line up.
Yeah. Especially because, and that's one. It is hard to build the offensive line up, especially as they start getting like past 25.
Oh,
like you're in a good spot from 22 to 25, and you get a lot of XP in your practice. Once you get past 25, man, it's like pulling teeth.
Yeah, because you think, and keep in mind on the training, when you start to train, I think the only ones they have are the running ones. The only ones that have direct effect to the offensive line are the running trainings. And I never do those.
Well, it's funny because I have to mix those in, but like in a season like this season, it sucks because I really couldn't work on them because I had to put everything I had into all of the quarterback-oriented stuff to try to work on Davis.
Right, me too. I did like all tight end receiver ones, you know what I'm saying? And then quarterback, I put Luck up in the joint to focus on him, but I had two other offensive linemen because it was like I had to just use them just to get them to balanced penalties. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole season wasted because I had to like do that. So,
and you're right, because sometimes to build a person, it literally takes an entire season. And I get it. Like you shouldn't be able to build the dude in 2 games, but shit, like I put all my points toward one guy and I barely did anything. It's like shit.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, that's why I always give Cletus props because the way he builds his teams and he'll sit on the XP for 2 seasons, man. I ain't got that time. I ain't got that type of time. I need them XP. I need them now. You know what I'm saying? I need to use them right now.
Okay, Gates, we're right there because me and Cletus have had this discussion several times. Everybody hates on the fact that, well, I don't get how this dude has all these superstar development dudes. But it's what you said. He will sit on 2 seasons worth of XP to finally move them up from quick to superstar, normal to quick. For me, I'm like, I don't need them to be good 2 seasons from now. I need to build their shit right now. I'm never doing that strategy. I need all my chips with dip with 911 right now.
Right, and that's his system.
And it works.
Earlier, his system is the first season is sacrifice. That's the sacrifice he does. He trades his stars, the old guys, the guys who have high overalls, who can do something right now, for picks, for young guys who might have whatever, and he sits on that XP. Year 2, he either builds them up to quick, sits them down again, or whatever. By year 3, everybody's superstar. They're on the field. They're 20. You got a whole bunch of teams, 22s, 23s, 24s on the team because nobody plays past 25. Nobody plays past 25 on Cletus's teams. You know what I'm saying? They're young, fast.
People on this team at 24 be walking around like, oh shit, man, I'm gonna get cut.
This my superstar year. This their superstar year. They know they're on their way out. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, you know the other thing I like about Cletus that he does is smart with that. And if you ever notice, because I trade with Cletus a lot, and every time I get a trade from Cletus, what I love, because he's one of my favorite people to trade with, them dudes under contract for years. Because he'll get them dudes when they ain't shit before he boosts their damn trades and lock them up for them 7-year contracts for like $2 million for 7 years.
Yeah. That's the first thing he does. He drafts them. The first year, the rookie contract is whatever. That second year, 7 years, $500,000.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, they getting $30,000, a hot dog and a bag of chips, and they're like, "Thanks, coach. I'm really excited about the opportunity to continue playing here."
He's running slavery. He's running a slave ship over there. That's like crazy.
For real.
Yeah, that's crazy. Because again, right? Because by the time they're 25, 26, 27, he then hits the new owners up or whatever. Guys like, yo. You want this superstar guy? He's 27. You look at his stats. Oh, I just want your first pick. Don't even worry about it. And that cycle repeats itself. You know what I'm saying? It's like a system. It wins. It works for him and it wins because first 2 years I don't credit him. He said I went to playoffs first year, like yeah whatever. Second year is like okay, pretty good. Yeah whatever. Because this first year 3 is your year. This is the superstar year. Guys like myself, you know how you build your team. This year, next year, or your 2 years. Let's see what you do now.
And then you start going down the roster in that third season, and everybody's sitting there 99, 99, 99, 99. Like Jamal Adams is 99 everything.
Yeah, he got me ready to boost my dude up to 99.
Right?
I'm boosting my safety up to 99. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. But I understand the system. I understand the process. That just doesn't work for me. I can't sit back. And again, it's not tanking, but I can't sacrifice all my stars year one and just leave me with whatever, and I'll just figure it out. Like, I'm not trying to win 2 seasons from now. I need to win right now. You know what I'm saying? I can't.
No, you hit that right in the head. And it's funny because we're cracking jokes about it, but like you said, there's a legit method to his madness. Like, it takes a lot of patience. Like, go back to what I said earlier in the show. There's some people I feel in the league just literally play for the competition as opposed to I'm really trying to win. Cletus is really trying to win. Like, he works on his schemes on the field. He takes that owner shit serious. He takes the draft serious as cancer. He never has cap issues because he manages the shit out of his cap. And he does all of the front office shit to go with all of the intensity of playing on the field. And he has a complete product from top to bottom. The players on the field, the management of the cap, the management of the draft, the contract structures, the building and development of the team, where most of us, we just want to play.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, he sent me a picture. I know he tagged you too. He sent me a picture of the Moneyball strategy.
Yeah, looking at that shit laughing.
I mean, hats off to you, man. If anybody, you know who we spoke on it? Doc should incorporate that system to that Broncos team.
Yes. He
should have done that's anybody who has a team with old vets, you use the Cletus system. That's what we're gonna call it, the Cletus system. You use that system. You trade them old guys the first year you take that team over. You get rid of all them old guys. You suck the first year. Just count that first year as a loss. Develop your scheme, and then you come back, pick some guys. You just develop them that second year and come out a cannon year 3. He's done it consistently, and this shit works. You know what I'm saying? We're not speaking of this Madden. He's done it every Madden since I've known him. And Cletus goes back to what? Does Cletus go back to NBL days?
No, Cletus wasn't in NBL, but Cletus has been playing organized Madden for a long time. Cletus has been in this league.
Yeah, he's been in this league.
Get it? Because there's stories he told me.
I had an early run way back with the USFL when the dude Philly from Canada brought me in. Philly in Canada, yeah. Mike, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Then I left, and then I got invited back in by Doc, and you know what I'm saying? So, and he's been doing that since then, you know. So, I mean, his system works.
You want to know something, though? I think, like, after talking to you, I think I need to talk to the other admins and the other commissioners because I think we need to launch an investigation into collusion on behalf of the New York Jets because I keep laughing and thinking about how the hell you going to pay a dude 7 years, $130,000 for 7 years, and they're like, thanks, coach. I'm excited for the opportunity.
Yo, I tried it. Yo, I actually tried it.
Contracts.
They shot me smooth down. I actually tried that with Deion Jones this year. I tried to give him some shitty contract. He's like, yo, you know what? I ain't even interested in playing with you. I'm headed to the free agent list.
Right.
Oh, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So
Cletus's pitch when me and him trade, hey, Ty, you know what? And you ain't got to worry about signing this dude for another 4 years. Sure enough, I look, dude's getting like $75K a year, some shit.
he got it down, man. He got the signs down. I know Will talked about the trade rule. He said something about the chat in the trade rule. Me personally, I don't have an issue with the trade rule because I know what this league used to be like before the trade rule. And guys like Cleveland had 10 first-round picks. Guys like Champ had 6 second-round picks and things like that. So, and I know, some guys just love to trade. You know what I'm saying? Green Bay, he's going to do that. He's going to just abuse the trades and things like that. So, I mean, 3 is cool. Maybe 5 for the season. But I'm cool. I mean, I don't get a trade. I could barely get a trade. So, what's 3 to me? 3, I'm happy to get 1 trade. You know what I'm saying? Let on 3.
I know what the admin team's thought on that is because we've discussed this a bunch of times, and I agree with it to an extent. The whole sim league thing. Like, I hate when people, this isn't a sim league, and I'm like, listen, it's a fucking arcade video game. Like, we're trying to do the best we can to make it realistic. And in the NFL, no team pulls off 5 and 8 and 9 trades a year. Like, you know how hard it is to make one trade in the NFL? That's why you don't see it. So 3 is a pretty reasonable number.
I agree.
So,
And then if you start, I mean, some of these guys don't even notice the cap hit that they take. Like you know, I almost had a Clowney deal.
yeah.
I could have had the Clowney deal, but I would have crippled the Texans at like a $30 million cap.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Like, that's crazy because then the offseason comes, he has this, like, the first round pick, I think, this season, but he doesn't have money to sign him. What happens?
Yeah.
He quits the league. He quits the league. All because of one trade. You know what I'm saying?
Well, not only does he quit the league, how do you get a new owner to take that on?
You can't. But then you got to reset his cap penalty.
I mean, think about Eagles' feedback the first 2 or 3 games he's played. Tyrod Taylor sucks. Tyrod Taylor sucks. Who the hell had this team?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, new owners, you almost have to erase their cap penalties to give them a fair advantage.
To be honest, last season, there was a scenario too we did that. So it's not like we're not adverse to doing that if either one or two things happens.
Oh, it had to be
Sometimes people, yeah.
Y'all do that for the cost because he came in with $100 million. He was signing everything. Like, yeah. Which was cool because it still worked out because he didn't dominate. Shit, he only won 2 games. You know what I'm saying? So you got all the cap in the world, don't mean you're gonna win on the field. But just for the owner coming in and not be at that disadvantage, for sure the Eagles should have got his cap penalty erased. By far. I mean, the guy who had that team signed Wentz to some crazy money, but then he had Tyrod Taylor starting. What?
I don't understand that for the life of me because when I played that dude, he had Taylor in, I'm like, I don't get it. Why would you play Taylor over Wentz?
Oh no. I know. I asked him the same thing.
Then again, I can't figure out why they keep trying to start Nathan Peterman in the real NFL in Buffalo. Like, I'm like, man, is Tyrod Taylor a cancer in the locker room or something we don't know about? Because why that man can't get a shot at the damn job and keep it?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree. I totally agree. I don't think so I mean, I know you guys have some things to figure out, but I think for sure any new owner should to make it fair because especially if you're taking a team that's been losing like that, you need your cap penalties erased. It's only right because you shouldn't have to pay for the mistakes that the other guy did. But I mean, I know they do that in the real NFL though. They don't erase no cap penalty, bro. That's your penalty. The penalty is a penalty. Make it work.
Yeah, and like I said, when we've done it, it was in scenarios where somebody purposely tried to screw over the league by gutting a team on purpose. Like I think last year, it was the old Detroit San Diego owner, like they colluded to purposely quit at the same time and cut all of the key figures, and it was just a nightmare. And Cletus had to go behind the scenes and build and try to re-sign those players to those teams and wipe the cap. Like in weirdo, extenuating circumstances, we do stuff like that, you know, to make it fair.
Yeah, no, I agree. And then Cletus sent a message saying that you guys did that because guys are cutting stars and things like that. He said that Tyrod Taylor is even on the free agency list. Listen, I don't want him.
Right?
I don't want him. I got my own cap issues going over here.
Yeah. You and me both.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the Falcons made some crazy deals before I even took ownership, before this Madden started. So I'm kind of like feeling those things with it right there. I had to give all my money to Andrew Luck during the last all season. So it'd be interesting to see how it all plays out. I might be one of these 2 and 14 teams next year. The way my cap is looking, I'm about to lose my whole team.
The good thing for me is the thing with the Giants, and as a Giants fan, it's the same thing in real life. They've got a lot of big contracts on those books. Janoris Jenkins, Olivier Vernon, JPP. Inevitably, when I take them over, Landon Collins and Odell Beckham come up off those rookie deals. So I have to deal with that. So the good thing for me is I'm never one that has a lot of cap space, but I never lose big names. Like the people I lose are like second and third stringers. But that's why my draft strategy is always to replenish those positions. Because like this season, I got 7 people to re-sign. I don't really need any of those 7 people. They were good backups. So I'm just going to draft those positions, let those people go, and let life go about its business. But the question I have for you is this. Today is Saturday. They advanced yesterday, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, in theory, playoffs can start tomorrow. Mm-hmm. So, wild card, let's say, and it's 24-hour advance, playoff owners, Paya, pay attention. It's a 24-hour advance for the playoffs. Stop holding up the effing playoffs every single season of Madden, Paya, because you got more important shit to do, like travel with your sister or watch the Packers. Play your effing game. Stop holding everything up. But that being said, so on Monday, you start to get into the divisional games, and that's when the first and second seeds play. Tuesday, you're possibly, in theory, maybe looking at conference championship. Wednesday, Super Bowl can be played by Thursday is what I'm getting to. And I know you like to do a Wednesday mid-show. Are you going to be able to put together a show midweek with, like, I don't know, some of the top playoff owners and maybe get a head-to-head? Because I finally seen that head-to-head you sent me, and I thought it was really good. I like the way that format went and how you did it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I would love to. I mean, the issue isn't me, Ty. The issue is getting these guys to want to be on the show. You know what I'm saying?
You have to do it. Cletus has done it before. I don't know what Pi is so damn afraid of. Like, I know you're messing with him about icing him out, but I don't really get. He showed a picture of himself. So if he's afraid of what he looks like, he's already put pictures of himself in the chat. He's vocal. I don't get what the big deal is about coming on the show. I know you can get WAP on. I know you can get Boone on. If you think about everybody that's in the playoffs.
Well, I haven't got the Raiders or the Chiefs on.
Well, and I'll tell you another person you haven't got on that'd be good to get on the person, the Saints. Sure, guy.
You haven't got the Saints on, the Browns on.
Can you pull Sun Moon?
I could probably get him on. Yeah, I could probably get him on. I could probably get him on because he's about to post a picture of him in the chat. And first of all, what does a dude care? I'm a grown man, bro. First of all, and I love women. I don't care what another man look like. That ain't my mind. My mind is psyche. You know, I'm not looking at you like, oh, that's a handsome looking guy. I don't give a shit, bro. I love women. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Cletus,
we grown men. We grown men.
Cletus told me what the real reason is. It's because he has a vagina.
Yeah, okay, well, maybe that's what it is then.
No, but you hit that right on the head. I'm the same way, man. I want to get on the show, man. And hey, Ty looks like this. I don't give a shit, man. I'm a grown man. I get my shit off. Chicks dig me. I'm all right.
Right, like I don't care about that, man. Jump on this thing.
No other man gonna say about me.
Yeah, we talking about man. I ain't talking about what you look like. I don't care what you look like.
No,
you know that ain't for me to judge. I ain't trying to holler at you. So
hey, the best. Hey, I'm gonna tell you, man. One of the best meme people in this league is my boy Boone. You see that meme with Stevie J? That shit is cracking me up.
Yeah.
That's the perfect meme. Stevie J is a creeper, man.
Yeah, he actually, I told him that Deion Jones is possibly a free agent. He's like, oh yeah, I'm getting him. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Deion Jones is a monster, man.
Yeah, so I gotta try to franchise tagging. I'm gonna lose Austin Hooper, my tight end. The DeAndre Campbell, I'm gonna probably lose him. I can't sign all these guys, so whatever.
Yeah,
it is what it is. We'll make it happen.
Yeah, but yeah,
but I haven't got. Good. Yeah, I'm gonna say. Yeah, so to answer your question, yeah, if I can get some of the owners on for sure, I'll do it. I would love to do it. I would love to do it. I would love to do it. I'm anxious to see how these playoffs play out, man. I see, I'm back in #1 slot. Hopefully, if I can win this game against you, you don't try to play for something. You know what I'm saying? Just take,
Just take that L.
yeah, stop trying. No need to try now. You ain't try. There ain't nothing to play for now. Let me just go ahead and ride off into the sunset.
Hey, well, I'm putting it like this. I thought when I played the Jets, I was going to play for some pride and be a good competitive game. And it was good until about the start of the second quarter. And then the wheels fell off. And I'm like, what the hell is going on here? So I don't know what's going to happen in this game with me and you, brother. Obviously, you was going to play to win. And because I've been on to play for.
But I've been on you all season. So if you win the day, it's like, oh, yeah, this and that. But I beat you last season. You know what I'm saying? It's that type of thing.
Matter of fact, man, when we finish this owners box, we can knock that shit out, man.
Yeah, I'm with that. Yeah, I'm definitely with that because I need to see how these NFC playoffs seed up because the AFC is kind of locked. I would love to just jump into the playoffs today. To be honest with you, at least the wild card would be dope. Like, I really want to see these games.
How many games need to be played still?
Yeah, a lot. I mean, the games who probably matter are they played. I think everybody else could take a sim.
Doc and Vikings, me and you, Chiefs and Chargers.
Yeah, they got to play. That's for respect. They have to play. That's for respect.
Yeah, Niners and Panthers.
That doesn't matter. That game doesn't matter.
Green Bay and Chicago.
That game doesn't matter. Hopefully Chicago can sneak a win, but I mean that game doesn't really matter.
Colts, the Bills, Dolphins, champ against the Bucks. Yeah, there's a lot of games. There's a lot of games.
They don't matter though. Like all the playoff teams played.
I agree, but there's a lot of games because I know the admin team is pretty good about, hey man, like the admin team's always real aggressive about let's get the playoffs going as quick as possible. Let's accelerate that timetable to the draft to get everybody up and running so we don't have long periods of inactivity. So I think if a decent amount of games can get played this afternoon, like to be honest, I want to believe whatever games don't get played today, they ain't getting played. I don't see people playing on New Year's Eve. People are going to be running around doing the family thing, getting smashed, doing whatever they do. I don't see a bunch of people scrambling to play New Year's Eve games. So I think whatever games get played today are probably going to be the ones that get played.
Yeah, very interesting to see. Because I think that the 3-6 seed, or the 6 seed, who would become 6 again. I know that the Saints said he's out of town, so he's on auto, so that's probably a little different. If he takes the 6 seed, then he actually goes against Green Bay versus him going against Boone, a team he's already beaten. To go against a team you already beaten gives you a little bit of confidence going against a guy who actually was like number 1 and now number 3rd. Just a different conversation.
Yeah. Well, I know we've touched on a bunch of topics. I just want to say congrats to all of the teams headed to the playoffs. You've all played well. You've all did what you're supposed to do. You had great seasons. To those that came close or those that didn't even come close, you know what? It's just like a New Year's resolution, the end of a season. You get a chance to evaluate your team, look at where you went wrong and tweak where you went wrong and draft accordingly, pick up some key free agents, work on your schemes, and that week time off. And good luck to everybody and Happy New Year to everybody as well. Happy 2018. Hope it's good for everybody. That's about it on my end.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely to the teams who didn't make the playoffs. It's just one season, man. Don't let it go to your head. I know we're kind of tough on you, a bunch of your owners, man. Again, all the views here, a lot of them personal. The other ones that we are really hard on, they're definitely here to motivate. To the guys who did make the playoffs, understand, it's the playoffs, man. Every possession is going to mean something. Every fumble, every interception, reading is fundamental. It's cliche, it's old school, but it still means something. Definitely the guys who like the Browns and like the Wops. I know you guys don't practice and things like that, but this is where pressure busts pipes, man. Guys like myself, I'm not playing around. I know Boone's not playing around. Jags is not playing. We're going to be in the lab. Cletus never plays around. So, understand that when you go into these games. So, that's pretty much it, man. I'm definitely looking to see how these playoffs go out. Guys, try to save your stars or cut them either way. Interesting to see how these off-season and the drafts. I know the admin got a lot going on with rules and things like that. So, a hell of a season, year 3, and it wraps. When I do the midweek show or something like that, we'll I will just do the owner's box, man. You jump in if you can.
Yeah.
We'll talk about all the playoff things like that. Let's try to get Bill or the Boy Brothers. Let's do a whole admin show due to the off season and things like that. I'll let him get Cletus on here. Talk about his.
Hey, I know Ronnie, the Panthers owner, the head man.
Oh yeah, y'all supposed to get him on here.
Show, huh?
Yeah, no, I'm supposed to get him on here. Yeah, if you let's reach out to him, man. See if he can get on here. He's the founder of the league. Let's talk to him, man, from the founder's perspective, and is the league going the way he wants it to go and things like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. I mean, that's pretty much all I got. I think we've been rocking almost 2 hours here now, almost 3 hours here, something like that.
It's cool because people are still watching and commenting. So I like the fact that people dig the show.
Yeah, me too, man. I like the intensity and the competition level was brought into the field.
Yeah.
Things like that. I mean, again, like we gave Jeremy Hill our choices of MVP and Jack's right on it.
Right.
Like, what? Ornette didn't get it. You know what I'm saying? Things like that. So I think that's kind of dope. WAP always talks trash. I told him, it's funny. I told him like, yo, people were asking me about your game style and things like that. Like, you can't win without the deep ball. And he just thought that was hilarious. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay.
Well, there's a couple of ways to look if you're him. Like, if you keep winning and you put trophies up on the shelf, who cares like what anybody thinks about your style of play? And if it's that vanilla, then stop it.
I agree. No, I agree. And that's what we kind of said. He laughed about it. I told him, listen, I'd rather deal with that. You actually out here trying to run plays, so
yeah,
laughed or whatever. So I know Boone is in a slump. Boone, if you're watching, stay in a slump, brother. I need that smooth slide.
Hey, hit him with the Stevie J when he was just doing this. Stay there. Hey, tell me you got something in them hands, man.
Come in these hands for you, boys, and come in these playoffs. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Raiders. Been playing phenomenal. Cletus is still, on fire, but has that fire now been diffused? He spanked the Raiders today. I think not. Ty said he's also playing for respect. Saints is playing for respect. Chiefs and Browns, man, it's on you guys. Strong. Listen, you got to beat the best to stay the best. You were dominating AFC. Now you're in like the 5th slot, brother. You got to get 3 words. Get it together. It's the playoffs. You got to get it together. It's the playoffs. You can't be playing around. Bobby Wagner's 100 years old. This is his last hurrah. Him and Brady. Father times. They got father times over there. They got to win. I think you have the most pressure than anybody on the AFC side. Myself, I have the most pressure. The guy in Green Bay wants my slot. Will thinks he can beat me all the time, and he can't. Saints is fighting for respect, and me and Boone, I can't ever sleep on Boone. So, and I run the owner's box.
Hey, did you get anybody to? I know you had asked earlier in the week for submissions for plays of the year. Did you get any?
I did get a couple. I got a couple earlier in the season. But I need to compile some things, man, and I'll probably just jump on probably before the Wednesday show or something. Even do it on the Wednesday show. I'll compile some videos together and then just run them all. But I got like some plays from Boone. I got a hell of a run from what's his name? From Will and WAP. Cletus probably had some couple plays. I think Cletus's play of the year is that quarterback sneak that didn't go in.
I know for me, I had too bad it was the game where the Eagles quit, but I had maybe I think what was the best run back of the year. I couldn't even believe what happened. But I'm not sure how to damn get them little clips when I'm recording my games to just get little clips of stuff, man. I mastered that.
Yeah, Cletus and Boone. Get with them guys. They do it. Cletus and Boone. Boone does it all the time. Boone sends me stuff. But I think Boone streams to Twitch. Do you stream straight to Twitch?
Yeah.
Yeah, then you can jump right on if you log in on your laptop to Twitch, you can actually trim the clips. You know what I'm saying? Go to the game and then trim it and then it saves it. And then you can do it that way. So that's it, man. Again, hell of a season in the week 17. About to jump into these playoffs. Man, you can lock up Ty. A couple minutes here. Julio's trying to break the record. Ty's trying to break my NFC undefeated streak. He's playing for respect. Again, this the key word for this season, I think, to wrap it all up in one word is respect. A lot of guys since we started the show have been fighting for respect, and I felt like since you used to have your Ty's corner show back in the day, that was my thing. Because you never mentioned me back then, and I just like, okay, still ain't mentioning me. Still ain't mentioning me. Like, this guy is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm beating everybody.
Hey, but you know what? But what did you do? You played, you got your respect, and now with your show, you do the same thing. What you just said about Sean? Hey, I know you winning. I respect that. You did the same thing I did. You need to see that consistency. But you proven, hey, you got to be a part of the conversation. It's just like me. I don't really care about the past. It's good I have a good reputation and a good past, but to me, only as good as your last performance. And this season wasn't good, so this season coming up, I plan to be a lot more low-key and a lot more quieter and just go out there and hopefully let my play speak for itself and get back to the playoffs, and then I'll feel redeemed.
I agree.
So I got a lot of work ahead of me. I don't, but I do. I just really want to invest and put some time into the game. I've worked a lot of hours. I haven't had time to do anything I want to do except jump on the sticks ice cold. I told us to Cletus, I never use this as an excuse, but a lot of people don't realize how hard it is to be on the West Coast and play in leagues and play these games, right? I get off work at 7 7 p.m. That's 10 p.m. EST. Most people are on the verge of, hey, Ty, we can't play 7:30. I can't play. So I'm literally driving in from work, parking in my garage, taking off my coat, turning on the game, jumping on the sticks ice cold. A lot of other folks that's on the East Coast, they've been home for 3-4 hours. They're fed. They've taken a shit. They took a piss. They got a drink in them. They got a smoke in them. They're relaxed. They didn't play the lab game. They didn't play the lobby game. They're in a good spot. I'm coming in here, bubble guts, cramped up, hungry, pissed off, stressed out, right on the sticks. And people don't realize for us West Coasters, that's tough.
Yeah, I agree. But I mean, like the box commission, man, you've been cleared to play.
You're right. That's why you guys never get that for an excuse. I make it happen. I choose to be in the league. I enjoy the games. If I know what I'm doing and I got my stuff dialed in, I don't need to sit there for 2 hours and do X, Y, Z. The problem becomes now when you don't have your stuff going on and something's obviously broken and you need the time to fix it, but you don't get that time or you can't make that time. That's when it just snowballs. Like, obviously, it's probably what's happening to the Buccaneers. Something drastic happened to that dude. I haven't really watched a bunch of his games. I don't know what happened. It seemed to be right after that second suspension where he got slapped on the wrist. He kind of stopped coming to the chat. His gameplay went down. Maybe he's uptight about, hey, I'm so nervous about not breaking the rule that it's changing the way mentally he's approaching his game or what he's doing. But something there is broken and he needs to fix it.
No, I agree. There's something did change, and that's when he went MIA. We did speak the last game, so I guess he's not now he's not missing anymore. He didn't win, but he's still, he's definitely responded to me via Texas and things like that. So, but again, that's no excuse, man. He was the disappointing team we picked for this season out of the NFC. Especially when you went 10-6, that's no excuse to go 3 and whatever, even though you got the suspension. He should have used that to motivate himself and then dominated his opponents. That's what I would have done. But we'll see how it turns out, man. Hey, get it together. Right now, he's on the get it together list.
Yeah, man.
So that's it, man. I think that's pretty much it as far as I got for this episode here.
That's all I got. Just ready to hop on the sticks and knock this one out so I can get on with the weekend, play a fun little game, see what happens.
Cool. I agree, man. Thanks for everybody for rocking out with us. Just like almost 3 hours. I think it's like almost 3 hours. It's crazy. Again, it's been a hell of a season. We'll definitely do another Owners Box here in a couple of days. We'll definitely see how I'm gonna be locked in to every playoff game. Popcorn in the chat. I tell you, I watch these games. I don't even watch NFL games. I mean, I'm on my phone looking like no games on. Ain't no games. I'm trying to force people to play. I'm reaching out to 2 different owners like, yo, he said he available. You available? I'm trying I'm in the background trying to make games happen like it's my game.
Well, no, and you're right, because even when I'm watching games, it used to be back in the days, unless it was a top-tier player, you didn't see a lot of participation. Now, everybody's just so hungry to watch games. I don't care what game you pop into. It could be the Texans at 2-14 versus Doc at 3 or whatever. You still see 7, 8, 9 people in there.
Yeah, because I was watching that game too. And I've been watching. It's funny because this is the first time I've really been watching all the games lately. And I'm just watching them just to see what people are doing, what mistakes are being made, the difference in user ability, user IQ, user awareness, I like to call it, things like that. So whether you're doing something, even the Bills wanted something, I'm like, why is this dude wanting something? And I'm like, oh, he's just throwing it. He's not bad. He's just throwing himself out the game. You know what I'm saying? He's just making bad reads. Overall, it's been a great experience. I'm glad we did the show. I'm glad you co-hosted it. I can't wait to see what we do next season. After the draft and things like that, man. I want to get some of these new owners on, like the Browns, Ravens, Saints, for sure the Panthers. The Boy Brothers stop ducking me. Green Bay. You already know what it is with me. You guys got 2 options: get on the show or win a Super Bowl. You don't get no respect from me until then. And then all the guys who actually came out, man. Thank you for being on the show. This first season of ours of the Owners Box. Definitely appreciate that. So, any last closing comments for yourself, Ty?
None, sir. I appreciate you actually pushing the show to come back and taking initiative to set it up. It's easy to co-host with you because we do this on the phone anyway when it wasn't a show. Somebody asked me, I think Texas, hey, like, how do you do that in the show? I said, you got to understand, me and Gates have that type of chemistry anyway. So we talk on the phone this exact same way. The only difference is we in Google Hangouts and there's a picture of us there, but we're doing what we always do. So it's nothing to me to do it.
Yeah, I agree. And it's easy for you because all you do is chime in now. You ain't got to worry about the callers. You ain't got to worry about Reggie doing things in the background, things like that. So, no, I definitely agree, man. Shout out to Cletus, man, and the guy, whoever else is doing the website, Daddy League site, man. The shit is phenomenal. As far as like the stats and things are going, you know, I'm checking that all the time. It'd be dope to see, like, speaking of Cletus, man, he said if guys write the articles, man, he'll put the graphics to them. So I'm gonna try to take advantage of that. Write myself an article. I'm gonna write this article probably for my team. Depending on how the season goes, things like that. Let him put the graphics up there. So guys, definitely take advantage of that, just to make things more interactive, more fun. Anybody want to be a guest on the show, man, or got some suggestions, topics, tips, or whatever, hit me, man. We'll talk about it directly right here, live. I'll jump on today. I ain't even supposed to jump on if it's that much of a conversation. So I'm around, man. Again, Ty, appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
Ooh, so we're gonna jump off here, man. The Owners Box episode 11 was a good one.
Thanks.
Hold on.
Have a good New Year, man.
Yeah, definitely Happy New Year to everybody. Both of us. Moment of silence, man. I crashed my car today. On some slide on the snow, hit a pole. Crazy, man. Crazy. RIP to my car. We had a good run. We had a lot of good moments. I eat that pole like a G.
Hey, you should have put a picture of the car, man.
I got a picture of the car. I thought in the chat. Good God, man.
You know?
Crashed my car, man. But I'm good, though. I eat that pole like a G, though. I took that. Car didn't make it.
Healthy, though, man. That's the important one.
Yeah. Me too. Slid on the snow, man. Crazy. First time that ever happened to me.
Did you have chains on the tires, man?
That's old school. Nah, I wish I did. I needed to.
You know what I'm saying?
It's funny because everybody came after me, gonna slow down, and then look at my car. Nobody else did the same movement I did. I was like, look at this. Now everybody's gonna take this turn, right?
Hey, man. Cletus just sent you a holiday well wish in the chat. Go and read that, man. You'll appreciate it.
Oh man, here we go. I don't know what this could be good or it could be sarcastic. Who knows? At least I have the sticks.
Hashtag Gates can't drive.
Listen, man, Cletus, man. If it ever goes down, I'm the one you want in a high speed chase, brother. Check my resume. Man. I'm from that type of neighborhood, man. I'm good out here. That's why I'm so shocked to crash my car, man. You know what I'm saying? Crazy, man. Crazy. So my New Year's about to be a lot of alcohol.
Hey, what's the preferred drink of Gates, man? This is Drinks Champ Edition. What's the preferred drink for Gates, man?
I'm a vodka guy, man. I'm a vodka guy. I like Ciroc, man. I'm a Belvedere guy. Before Ciroc, whether we're around, I've been a Belvedere guy. I like Ciroc. I like FN vodka. If I got to drink brown, I'll drink something like a Cavazier or Crown Apple, Crown Royal Apple. I drink top shelf. So I don't really drink no bottom shelf alcohol.
You got very similar taste. Remember the other one? I had the Ciroc.
Yeah.
Hey, man, my holiday gift to everybody, man. I got put on to a new drink, and it's fantastic. And somebody's going to be like, you just getting up on that? It's called the Moscow Mule. I like ginger beer.
Yeah,
so
Moscow Mules. You like that?
Yeah, man, got put on to that, man. Vodka and ginger beer, man. And that copper bug, I'm like, man, I'm getting it in.
All right, so I'll give one to the brown drinkers out there, man. My cousin came up with this. It's Crown Apple, Crown Royal Apple with some peach schnapps and cranberry juice, man. We call it Royal Flush. We call it Royal Flush, man. You take a shot of that, shot of peach schnapps, dump it, man. Cranberry juice, stir it. It's amazing, man. And women love it too, man. So it's women approve.
Hey, you got to drop that in the chat so I can actually write that down, brother. Then look that up.
Yeah, it's called Royal Flush, man. Again, it's Crown Royal Apple with a shot of peach schnapps and cranberry juice, man. It's amazing. It's smooth, and like I said, it's women love it. You know what I'm saying? And it's Crown Apple. It's Crown Royal, so women think that's a little too hard for them, but when they drink it, it's really smooth. Yeah, keep drinking. You just keep on drinking. You know what I'm saying? So.
That was an evil laugh. Hey, that was one of those sexual harassment scandal laughs.
Right. That's what my cousin told me when I was like, he's like, trust me, women gonna like it. I'm like, what? And then I tried. I was like, oh yeah, this is nice. They do get a little nice off this right here. So
actually, I might have to take that on the Moscow Mule because you're right, man. You know, I want to bring the New Year's with a bang.
Yeah, man. So
I enjoy the sticks, but there's one more thing I enjoy more than the sticks.
What's that? Oh, drinking?
No, brother.
Oh well, come on. I understand. Yeah, no doubt. No. Money and that, they're the best two things. You know what I'm saying about being a man. What are you talking about? Yeah, man. But all right, man. We'll go ahead and sign off this thing, man. We lock up. Hit you up in maybe 5-10 minutes. Let me check on the little one and the missus real quick.
All right, brother.
And then we good to go, man. Definitely, thanks again for showing. People tuning in. The Owners Box, Gates and Ty signing out. Happy New Year.
All right.